attention. You never will. I will overanalyze and fall victim. But when I'm lowest, time to get to know myself. I'm still tangled, I'm not worried, 'cause I am caught up in this perfection. Pay attention, yeah, you never will. 'Cause you depend, so you always will. If you arrest yourself again, I'll help you clean up the mess. I wonder if you ever did, yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. I wonder if you ever did, yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. Just wanna be free, yeah. Free, yeah. Free, yeah. Free, yeah. Paint away day and night, 6 I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then if you dare. Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in panic. Yeah. After you, I'm
Go, let's go, let's go! Let's go!
cling to what you're giving. Nothing
Jamaica?
is what I say. I feel far away.
Let's go, let's go. Yeah, no, the situation is fixed. The audio situation. And taken care of. Hold on, let me get some water. One sec. feel far away. Nothing is what I think.
Nothing is what I think.
I'm in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Nothing
Is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause I will drown in pink. Oh, 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 oh. La, 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 la. Let's go, baby! Do you need... Dude, I'm just gonna enjoy the music here for a sec. It's over.
Do you need anything like I need you?
Yeah! You know I do. I've got no place to be alone. My friend, he cut his wrist instead. There's your answer. You better save yourself or else it's nothing like success.
I would
Rather be in hell than regrets. Do you need... There's the goal
anything like I need.
for a dance party. It's over. Oh.
Do you need anything like I need you? No, I do. But denial, these are not my words. Tell me where am I? Most of the time, wet my face with
Reality, and permit me to breathe before I do it again.
Do you need anything like I need you?
It's over. Oh.
Do you need
Anything like I need you.
Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need
Let's go.
anything like I need you?
Dude. Oh, wait. We're going to enjoy the guitar solo. Then we'll be done. I do like this guitar solo. It's a good one. Let's go, Mr. Moj! Woo! Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. do you need? Oh, shit. Let's go. Dude, Maureen McCormick. Is that who you're talking about? Marsha Brady? What happened? Did she die? You say you were so in love with her? Is she dead? Is that what you're talking? I'm just jumping to conclusions. Dude. Let's go. Let's go. All right. All right. Dude, what a crazy adventure day. Chris, let's go. Feeling young and dynamic always. Let's go. We got 2 out of 10. Bum. Dude, let's go. I am always young and dynamic. You know, me and Joe Biden and Cenk Uygur's fucking I am Cenk Uygur's libido, right? What is it? I am Cenk Uygur's medulla oblongata. Right? Oh shit. Dude. Let's see what we got here, dude, today, bro. Oh Lord, Lord, Lord have mercy. Dude, the Epstein files. Did I see the Pelosi bill debate? I did not. Now, see what's interesting about this Pelosi here. What is this? The Gulf of Release the full unedited Epstein files, you fucking liar. That's pretty good, actually. Oh, shit. Dude, Cenk Uygur. Oh, is his Jubilee teaser out? All right, let's look at this.
We've tried establishment Democrats, complete failures.
See, actually, I can't watch it, though. You know what I'm saying, guys? I literally, Natalie, my whole fucking stream will get demonetized. Like, the whole stream, I cannot watch any Jubilee content. They fucking copy strike me. Even a teaser. Yeah, no, even if it's on Twitter, it can be a Twitter video edited from their shit. And if I watch like fucking 20 seconds, they copy strike my shit. Dude, they do. And what's crazy about it is other places, like even the Daily Show. Okay, I've had shit copy struck from the Daily Show, and then I apply for a fair use thing, and they give it to me. The Daily Show will give me fucking right. The Daily Show will give me like a fair use, but LDS, who manages Jubilee, will never, right? They will never. And so I don't mind making a video. Like, I'll make a video of it, but I don't really want to get my whole fucking live stream like fucking copy struck. You know what I'm saying? By those dimwits. Dude, Jubilee versus 20 conservatives. Dude, I don't know about the Jubilees, guys. Can I just tell you, for me, it's like, did you see the Kyle Kulinski video? Let me just show you this, okay? Let me just show you this. They covered the teaser. Yeah, maybe they're just like, I don't know. I don't know if they like have a YouTube rep or something, but like, dude, I have watched one tweet with Jubilee content and I got fucking copy struck. But I feel like this Kyle Kulinski video, dude, here, watch this. All right. Let me just tell you, I think I'm with Kyle Kulinski. Okay. Watch his shit. All right. I am with fucking Kyle Kulinski. You ready? Let me just show you guys right here where he says it, and I am totally with him, boss. Let me see here. Right here. All right, watch this.
On and his Jubilee debate, where I think the title was like he was debating 20 far-right conservatives. I believe that's what the title was. And so he went into it thinking, look, I'll just do my thing. I'll debate him. I'll win. Hopefully convert some people to a more left-wing worldview. And I think he did a great job. You know, we covered some of this stuff. I think he's a phenomenal debater. He's always been a phenomenal debater. And I think it was mission accomplished in terms of holding down the fort for leftism. Now, having said that, I remember when we watched it, I started out by going, I don't know if this is worth it, bro. I don't.
Dude, I'm telling you, I had the same vibe. And I had it not even with Mehdi Hasan's. This is going all the way back to, remember the one we watched with Lady MAGA? Right? Remember? Just watch.
I don't know if this is worth it. And the reason I don't know if it's worth it is because now the far right, it's been mission creep, and they've gone further and further right. And now they're literally out there, like, proudly declaring themselves fascists, right? What's the next step? The next step is they're going to be like, yeah, I'm a Nazi. Yeah, I love Adolf Hitler. Like, that's happened. It already happened with Kanye West when he was on Alex Jones' show, right? And so I remember thinking, like, I don't know if I like this. Because there is some degree of normalization happening of these fringe views, which really should be banished to, like, 4chan message boards with a bunch of freaks and weirdos and loners.
And what's more, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but have you guys noticed that the left-wing people are like normal left-wing people, but every time they have a right-wing person on Jubilee, it is like as far to the right as possible, right? There's never any like traditional conservatives on Jubilee. Jubilee is like left-wing and extremist right-wing, which sort of like creates this idea that the left wing is just as extreme as the right wing is. And that's the thing that I have a real problem with it is they're both sidesing the right wing, the far right radicalism. They're making the far right radicalism as normal as the left wing. Or you can look at the far righters and be like, oh, the left wing is just as radical. And that's what they're doing. And it's always the far right. Like they always have these crazy, like openly racist, openly fascist, openly like outrageous, like, oh, I'm addicted to MAGA. Remember Lady MAGA? Whatever, Lady MAGA, fucking Barack Hussein Obama. The whole thing is like, it's like a fascism theater, right? It's like extremist theater that is designed to engage like commonplace left-wing ideologies with the furthest right-wing shit you can imagine, as though they're on the same political spectrum. And they're just not. They're just not.
Who are not, socially competent, who can waste their time there, right? And so I was a little iffy on it, but then as I watched the debate, I sort of came to the conclusion that these people look so stupid and so dumb that ultimately it discredited fascist ideology, so I came back around to being in favor of it. But what's interesting is, it obviously wasn't just me having this dilemma watching this debate. It seems like everybody who watched it was sort of wrestling with the same thing, right? Like, am I okay?
Dude, it's like Jerry Springer. That's what Jubilee is. Jubilee is like, it's like the Jerry Springer of politics, but they actually put like intelligent, well-spoken left-wingers. You know what I mean? And then the right-wingers are always these fucking freaks.
Okay with this? Am I not okay with this? Like what am I really watching here? And so what happened was, and if you were to read the comments on the video, you would see this very quickly, is that a lot of people basically came to the conclusion, like, you are actively hurting the country and hurting the discourse in the country. Because
100%.
When you have people just flat out saying, I'm a fascist, and they're like giddy about the fact that they're fascist and they're coming out as fascist, it's like, again, you're providing this route of like normalization where it's okay in society to say that and we just move on like nothing happened. Well, to be fair, the guy got fired, but there are reports that he got fired before this and pretended like it was because of this, so he could do this whole cancel culture routine. But anyway,
so he could raise some money.
I wanted to revisit this because, again, I don't know how I feel about this. So, like, on the one hand, this is the world we live in, right? Like, we do live among these absolute disgusting freaks and charlatans and losers and assholes. We do. There are people who are still cheerleading Donald Trump after all of his fucking concentration camp building and all of his illegal bombings of countries that didn't attack us and all of his destroying the Constitution and rounding up innocent people with no due process.
And graping teen girls, you know what I mean? I mean, dude, Dude, seeing the people on Twitter like normalize dating 13-year-olds is wild. Like that chick, who is that chick? Azalea, whatever, who was like, oh yeah, dating 13-year-olds was normal until the 90s. Like, dude, what the fuck is she doing, bro? She is like, get her on the U.S. gymnastics team because she is twisting, bro. Jesus.
Like, there's people still support her. So what do you do with that fact? And part of me thinks, yeah, you need a bunch of fucking like Chad leftists to fucking bulldoze these idiots in a public forum and humiliate them and make people go like, okay, it's clearly fucking really soy to be right wing. And so let's not do that. Let's be left wing because right wingers are losers and paranoid weirdos and disgusting loners and whatever, right? So part of me believes that still, that if this is the world we live in, then this is like we're just forced to deal with it in a direct, straightforward way. But then the other part of me believes, no, like we need to force these motherfuckers back into the shadows. And in order to do that, you can't bring them out of the shadows, right? So like, yeah, we need to bring back shame. We need to bring back social consequences. We need to bring back, like there was a time, some of the things people get away with today, they never could have gotten away with in the past. You got libs of TikTok, that dumb bitch was out there saying like the average IQ in Somalia is 68. It's showing this picture of this elected official, who's American, by the way, trying to imply
that's the guy who's running for mayor of Minneapolis, okay?
He has a low IQ because he's black. And it's like, if you said this shit in 1997, you would have lost your job, your family would have fucking disowned you, they would have been disgusted by you. Like, we rolled the clock back to 1930s style fucking German racism, and everybody's just cool with it, right? And so, the point that a lot of people are making in the Jubilee comment section is like, no, like, you are normalizing this shit. And the other thing is, I think Jubilee does themselves no favors because they pretend like the CEO of Jubilee is out there like, oh, we're trying to make people more empathetic and we're trying to come together at a divisive time.
Dude, see, that is such bullshit. Like, Jubilee 100% grabs the craziest, most outrageous, like clickbaity, rage baity, you know what I'm saying? The wildest fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? It is fucking crazy, dude. They are not improving the discourse at all. Not at all. They're making it. Krygo, good to see you. They're fucking not at all.
And that's our goal, is to bridge divides. And it's like, no, you're not. That's not your fucking goal. Your goal is cheap clicks and ad revenue. And by the way, I covered some of this. I played like maybe 2 or 3 shortish clips. They jacked all the revenue for it, of course, because that's what they are. They're fucking copyright sharks. They're patent sharks. They're in.
Dude, yeah, see? They did it to him too. Oh shit, dude. They did it to Kyle too. They fucking jacked the revenue for him too. Of course. So dude, then they're jacking it for everybody. Because, man, they jacked. I didn't even watch the video. I watched a snippet of it on Twitter, and those fuckers jacked me, bro. That's crazy. Now I don't feel so bad in despising them.
Like I said, I covered some of this. I played like maybe 2 or 3 shortish clips. They jacked all the revenue for it, of course, because that's what they are. They're fucking copyright sharks. They're patent sharks. They're in this for the profit.
They are.
They know that their content goes viral. You'll have viral moments that spread on TikTok. They probably steal all the monetization for that.
Yep.
Right? They care about, oh, look, we got 4 million views on the video or whatever the fuck. Don't lie to our faces and say, oh, we're about bringing people together and we love people and we love empathy and we have to, in order to empathize, we have to sit across from each other. And it's like, that has nothing to do with why you're doing this shit.
Yeah, no, they are straight money-grubbing whores is what they are. Jubilee and LDS, who like copyrights their shit, who does all the copy striking, they are money-grubbing whores. Whores. That's what they are, bro. Jesus. Dude, and I don't know how they do it, man, with the fucking, like, I've watched TikToks, right? I've watched TikToks on fucking, on YouTube, right? Use clips of a recording of Jubilee on fucking TikTok or Twitter, and then made a YouTube video and fucking they take all the money, bro. Jesus.
It is click farming. It is viral slop debate content, right? And like, what are we really achieving here? So I don't know, man. I've gone back and forth. Like, I don't blame மெடி. Let me be clear about that, because மெடி didn't even know going into it just how far right these people were. In his mind, he thought it's just going to be like far right Republicans.
Right.
But one of these assholes immediately came out as a fascist. And மெடி had said previously, like, I don't debate fascists, because you're not going to debate somebody out of a position that they didn't reason their way into it.
Right. And one thing we do have to note, guys, if you remember, I do want to bring up while we're discussing this here, because Kyle's dead right. But if we look at, remember the guy who said he was a fascist, the guy who said he liked autocracy, this guy, remember Mr. White Studies? Remember this guy, right? And then this was the guy later who was crying about losing his job, even though I think we found out he was lying about losing his job, that he had previously lost his job, but he was pretending like he lost it. It was he was some guy, some Nazi fucking whatever. He had some dumb name on Twitter, right? He lied about the job loss. But can I just tell you guys, right, that superior genes, yes. Dude, what kind of genes are these, right? Let me just tell you though, guys. You ready? So think about this though, because he said he believed in fascism. That's it. Pine sap, pine shit, pine sol. All right. Remember how he said he believes in fascism, right? He believes in autocracy. Okay. Autocracy was what he believed in. But the minute his boss took power over him and fired him, he was the biggest sniveling crybaby bitch you could fucking imagine, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't believe in autocracy. The minute somebody took, the minute somebody fucking took a little bit of power over him, bro, he was fucking done. Dude, oh my God, dude. Pine sap, that's it. Dude, I actually gotta fucking, I gotta fucking save this. There we go. Because that's a tweet just waiting to happen, bro. Right? Oh, there it is, dude. What kind of genes are these, bro? Oh, shit. But it's so funny, though, with those guys, because they talk a big game, right? They talk a big game, but they don't actually follow through. You know what I'm saying? They don't follow through, man. They don't. It's like he doesn't really believe in autocracy. In fact, he's the furthest thing from that. He is like the wokest, softest, most fucking, you know what I'm saying? He is the wokest motherfucker I've ever seen, bro. Jesus.
Being a fascist is all about emotions. It's all about feelings. It's all about hatred as a matter of doctrine. So you can't like use logic to convince somebody to not be a hater, right? So there's no point in debating a fascist. So மெடி had that position. He didn't know that these people were going to be as insane as they were. So I don't blame மெடி at all. And, I've in the past considered doing these Jubilee things. But Krystal has too. But now it's like, I don't know. It's not cute anymore. It's not fun anymore. It's not constructive, if it ever was constructive.
Yeah, see, I agree with this take, guys. I feel like Jubilee is, you guys have heard me talk about how I don't really like the debate culture as it is, because it shied away from like people debating in order to exchange ideas and argue ideas to creating content. Everybody's trying to get zingers, right? And people are, this is where like integrity goes out the window, because like I said, everybody on Jubilee that they pick on the right wing, none of those people have integrity. Okay, none of them have integrity. This guy, the fucking, right? This guy right here, you know what I'm saying? This guy, he doesn't have any integrity. He doesn't really believe in autocracy. He doesn't really believe in fascism. As soon as he lost his job, he was crying. Oh, they were unfair to me. It's like, bro, it's fascism. It's autocracy. They can do whatever the hell they want. Remember? That's what you believe in, right? No, he doesn't. Dude, yeah, it is. It is drama farming. And you know what else, though, guys? What else it is this is the shit that's feeding our youngsters, okay? Because not a lot of adults are going to really be watching this shit. You know what I'm saying? But like 8-year-olds are watching these really extreme people with the crazy faces and yelling and being all outrageous. And those young people eat that shit up, okay? They don't care that these guys are fake and bad acting. They feed on it because it has this like super delectable drama because it's like so polarized, okay? It's like their brains see that extremism and it processes it like kids' brains like only react to things that are really extreme. Like when you're like 8 years old, kids will sometimes they'll eat really spicy food, like Indian food, right? When they're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, because it's the only thing their taste buds can react to, right? It reacts differently. So this shit is dangerous. I feel like the Jubilee stuff and a lot of this Benny Johnson content and this really like super, super extremist, like pipeline shit is being fed to kids that is like setting up this idea from little on that being extreme and being very out of pocket and reactionary is like beneficial. It gets you on TV. It gets you 2 million likes. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And that kind of shit I think is really unhealthy, right? We've been grooming kids for like the last 6, 7 years, okay? Since the arrival of TikTok, we've been grooming kids to like the more outrageous you are, the more far out into extremism you go, the more you can cash in. And again, only 1 in a million cashes in, like anything, right? 1 in fucking 500,000. But everybody's moving that direction, trying to get noticed, right? Like, did you notice? Oh my God, after 𝗙𝗪𝗏, literally for months after 𝗙𝗪𝗏, every third TikTok was some girl like in her car saying something outrageous about bopping the knob or something, right? It was like every girl, like, and these girls are young, man. They're like, I don't know, high school, just out of high school on TikTok, just desperately trying to be 𝗙𝗪𝗏 girl. It's like, dude, what are we doing, man? We're just encouraging people to be super extreme and super outlandish. And even if you don't mean it, and we're training kids to think that like the more negative reaction you get, the better, right? Dude, like, oh my God. And in the end, the 𝗙𝗪𝗏 girl, I don't even know why that shit went viral, dude. Like, dude, spit on that thing? Like, come on, man. She ain't spitting on that thing. Dude, she's pulling crypto scams and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't spitting on anything. Dude, she's fucking whatever. Man, dude, that shit is nuts, bro. Kyle's right on, dude.
It feels more like, a right-wing sane washing attempt.
100%.
Even though they come across looking kind of shitty, at the same time, they are giving a license to more people to say, hey, what my ideology is within this Overton window. Flat out fascism is within this Overton window. Nazism is within this Overton window.
Yeah.
One of the guys said to Mehdi Hassan's face, you should be deported. Get out of my country.
I know, dude. Remember that guy? Remember the Chad who said to Mehdi Hassan, you should be deported? And he's like, dude, I'm an American citizen. What are you fucking talking about, dude? That was the Chad who like of course, like every other Chad on that show, had no immigration knowledge, no knowledge of like immigration policy or anything. But this is, Jubilee does this, man. It really does. It takes really outrageous shit and it makes it seem legitimate next door to like reasonable left-wing ideas. Because, you know, when they say like radical left, right? Think about this. Okay, the radical left is Zoran Mamdani wanting to have one government-run grocery store, one city-run grocery store in every borough. So there's no food deserts and all the poor people can guarantee a grocery store they can shop at where they're not getting price gouged. And that is radical leftism. Dude, hello, feeding kids lunches at school, radical leftism, right? Kids being able to go to college for free, radical leftism. Right? What is the far right ideology? It's like alligator Alcatraz and masked hit squads and putting people in jail without evidence. And you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ. Did they really? Of course. One of them was wearing a Shiloh Hendrix fucking t-shirt. Of course he was. But you know what I'm saying? Like, their shit is so fucking, like, the right wing shit is so outrageous. Defending rapists. Right? Dude, it's crazy. Dude, but Jubilee, all I can say to Jubilee is, fuck you. Fuck you, Jubilee, you're whores. Fuck you. All right, fuck Shanky Uyghur, too. All right, dude, do we have some Shanky Uyghur shit? All right, there we go. I just wanted to watch a little bit of that. It's worth the video if you want to watch that. Kyle's right on. Dude, I'll be honest. I'm trying to meet Kyle right now. He's somebody I'm trying to meet because I want to pick his brain. Dude, it's funny because I feel like Kyle and I are actually kind of similar because he's one of the mouthier, like, left-wing, you know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of left-wing creators who will call, like, you know, Riley Gaines a dumb bitch, right? But Kyle is one and I am one. So therefore I want to talk to him, right? You know, I don't throw the bitch word around a lot, but only for the bitches that deserve it. And Chank's Jubilee preview. I'm not watching the Jubilee shit. Fuck Jubilee. Dude, I'm not letting them copy strike me anymore, dude. I'm not. Dude, no mas. No mas copy strike for Jubilee, boss. I don't want a part of their dirty money. Right? Fuckers. Let's go. Some people earn it. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I only give that tag out. I give it out equally to men and women that are, you know, a certain level of toxicity. Kyle does smaller channels. He did Vanguard. Oh, nice. Yeah. I'm in the process of like setting up a meeting where I can just talk to him. I don't know about him being on the show or anything yet. I just want to sit down and talk to him about like growing a channel. And fucking, you know what I'm saying? And all right, so dude, so we're gonna watch the jeans thing. Can I just say something, guys? Can we just? I know we're gonna get in here with Kyle like me. Dude, let's go. Oh, people mention me on Leftist Mafia. Let's go. I love those guys, dude. Matt Bender, is like so great, dude. Dude, here's what we got to do. You ready? Is check this out. We got to look at this guy, dude. This one was like so ridiculous. This one, dude, what the fuck is this? I mean, you got the Sydney Sweeney one, but like, look at this one right here, dude. This one.
Look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan, genetics.
This tan, genetics. Like, bro, what the fuck is that, dude? This tan, genetics. Dude, give me a fucking break, bro. Right? You know what I mean? Now, again, see, for me, I didn't go straight to outrage about this shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go straight to outrage, but I understand why people are like pissed off about this because because we do have replacement theory motherfuckers in government, okay, that are actively operating with replacement theory techniques of like trying to eradicate people of color. And they've been very open about their white Christian shit. You got 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗪 with White Boy Summer. I mean, these people are real clear, waging a war on equity and inclusion and diversity, right? DEI is like the new N-word for them. They raged against CRT. So now, like having all these videos that talk about how, ooh, I'm so amazing because I have good genes. Like, bro, dude, Sydney Sweeney could have an ugly as fuck kid, bro. It's like, come on, man. You know what I mean? And this idea that we're determined by our genes is a little bit weird. I mean, there is genetic stuff we pick up, but it's like, my God, dude, Trump's sexual abuse of women is genetic. Alcoholism is genetic. Domestic violence is genetic. You know what I mean? The legacy of slave ownership, that shit gets handed down in our genes, you know, but this idea that like, you know, like certain type of birthing is going to create genetically superior people is such weirdness, bro. It's just such fucking weirdness, right? But anyway, let's watch what they got here.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has her genes.
All right, dude, your crooked teeth are genetic? I don't know about that. I mean, maybe. Are they? Dude, but her genes are blue. I mean, I get it. Everybody got mad at me because I made a comment and I said that it was about superior genes. Let's go, Will. And people are like, she didn't say that. She didn't say superior genes. You're inserting that. But I mean, dude, it was pretty obvious what they're saying there, that like, you know what I mean? That like, you know, that, I don't know. The undercurrent of that was pretty intense.
That ad for American Eagle has led to a bit of a kerfuffle, a debate, if you will, in regard to whether or not it's promoting racism or eugenics.
Okay, now let me just say this. I want to start before we go into this, what is sure to be riveting analysis from Anna and 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗪 here. I want to point out that, one, there should be nothing wrong with having this debate. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember how they're like, hey, we should talk on both sides. We should get together and hear all these different ideas. So the fact that a whole bunch of people are like, wow, they feel like there's some eugenics undertones in that ad, we should be able to have that fucking discussion, right? I mean, isn't that a discussion worth having? You know what I'm saying? I mean, she'll go to Tucker Carlson, who's literally said Nazi shit, and she'll go to him and have discussions with him and say, oh, you should be president. But like, oh, some people are like, notice a little bit of eugenics fucking kind of, you know, references here in this ad. And she's like, oh, that's the unreasonable left again. We can't even have a discussion. But you got to realize, though, guys, this is hard, okay? This is hard because the thing about this is, first off, we know that Anna and Cenk have racism issues. But I want to go just to this idea of good genes. There's no such thing as good genes, guys. There's just fucking genes, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like if Beyonce, say there's a genetic vocal thing in Beyonce's family where all the women are like good singers or whatever. That doesn't mean she has good genes, okay? Just because you have a singing voice doesn't mean you're good, okay? There are plenty of fucking singers that are despicable, horrible human beings. Just because you have a voice that creates a bunch of money in capitalism does not mean you're good. It doesn't mean you're fucking valuable. Like that whole idea of good genes. Like if you're, you know what I mean? Like Tom Brady doesn't have good genes. He's just had fucking a genetic makeup that helped him be a football player. But that doesn't mean he's good. He's probably going to end up with CTE, or everybody who like defended him will end up having CTE, if not him, right? But like that doesn't mean he's valuable or fucking better, has better genes than anybody else just because he was a fucking successful football player. This idea that you're only good if you're a fucking beautiful movie star or a capitalist fucking success or as somebody who generates a whole bunch of money is bullshit, okay? Because Andrew Tate generated a whole bunch of money, and that guy doesn't have good genes. He's got rapey, predator, fucking degenerate, fucking misogynist piece of fucking shit genes. Okay, that where he looks like a goddamn turnip, dude, like a cue ball on top of a fucking pack of Hillshire Farms fucking sausages, dude. Right? Dude, you know what I'm saying? So like this idea of even like good genes is like Sydney Sweeney doesn't have good genes. She just has fucking genes, bro. Okay, she's just as fucked up and as like mentally fucking quirky as any other human being on the planet. And there are plenty of girls that are beautiful and blonde and have big boobs that are never going to be fucking successful like she is, because the reality is no matter what your genes are like, not everybody can be success. A tiny fucking group of people gets to be successful in a capitalist world. You know what I'm saying? And so like this whole concept is fucking annoying, bro. And I think that's the kind of like sort of eugenics part behind it, is this idea that your genetic makeup affords you some type of special fucking abilities or value. But that's the basis of white supremacy, guys. The basis of white supremacy is the people born without the melanin, all right, are the fucking, they're smarter, they're more attractive, they're more capable, they're better leaders, they're blah, right? The whole thing is this idea that what you're fucking born with. Let's go. Dude, oh my God, we already hit it. All right, so we're going to watch this. Dude, I guess, do we dance party now or do we watch this fucking video? Holy shit, that was quick. That was fast, dude. Dude, I feel like we're kind of on a run here. That was fast. I want to watch some of the video, yeah, and then we'll dance, all right?
Which I think is a bit of a stretch, but let me give you all the details and you can decide for yourself. So this is a new ad campaign featuring wildly popular actress Sydney Sweeney. She is pretty good at selling products, which makes me understand why any brand would want her to be front and center of their advertising campaign. But the campaign circles around the tagline, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, spelled J-E-A-N-S, right? Which can be also
yeah, but in that fucking video they just showed, it was spelled G-E-N-E-S, and it was just scratched out, you know?
Genes can have a double meaning like genes, you're born with good genes.
And in the billboards, as you saw there, genes in the DNA version is cut out, right? Or crossed out, and then genes as in the pants is filled in. It's a play on words, we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
dude, does Cenk Uygur only own one outfit? Like, what is up with that guy, bro? How is that guy like only has one fucking outfit that he ever fucking wears, dude? Dude,
she's beautiful. Obviously, she has good genes in terms of like how it has led to her physical appearance. And people have taken issue with that. So many people believe the nod to her great genes is the brand flirting with the idea of eugenics, white supremacy, and Nazi propaganda. Mostly because she is white, blonde, with blue eyes.
I mean, she's pretty Aryan, right? But again, guys, part of it is like they're doing this shit while there's an ethnic cleansing happening in America, okay? That's what is going on, dude. There's literally an ethnic cleansing happening in America. I mean, my God, look at what has happened just this week. First off, we have the ICE shit rolling around, grabbing everybody who's brown. We have fucking Laura Loomer and all the right-wingers going after Zoran Mamdani. Why? Because he's a brown Muslim. They're going after the guy running for mayor in fucking Minnesota, even though he is an American citizen. They're after him because he's Somalian, right? Talking about IQ and shit like that, right? So clearly, the eugenics, white supremacy shit is a major fucking central role of the MAGA right-wing influencer culture, okay? And if you deny that, you should get a boot right in your fucking tight cobwebbed ass. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. It's the context of it. This is happening while we're watching an ethnic cleansing, while all the right-wing influencers are white boy summer and fucking talking about, everybody brown needing to leave the country. Come on, man. Of course,
those are the women that should be banned from all advertising. Okay, I don't understand what this argument even is.
Yeah, so we're asking you guys on the live chat shows, live 6 to 8 p.m. every day. Do you believe that ads are promoting eugenics? Yes or no? Okay, so now I'll start to weigh in. I'm split 2/3 no, but 1/3 saying yes. All right, so guys, if they
so again though, Anna and Cenk, you when the 1/3 is MAGA, you say, you know what? We got to go understand them, and we got to go figure out. We got to hear MAGA, and we got to meet them in the middle, find a common point. But when 1/3 is left-wing fucking equity, you're like, oh, bad, finger wag, 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗀's gonna go pee-pee in his depends.
We're talking about how white people and only white people or all white people have good genes. I'd be like, whoa, what the hell is that? Okay, maybe eugenics, all that stuff. But white people are also allowed to have good genes.
No, not.
Yeah, but first off, the idea that there's no such thing as good genes, right? That's the bottom line. There isn't good genes. There's just genes, okay? Everybody's got you have facial features in your genes. You have addiction, negative traits in your genes. You have fucking, generational trauma in your genes. But there's not good genes. There's simply genes, okay? If you say that there's good genes and bad genes, you are doing eugenics, okay? You know what I mean? And look at his face though, dude. Look at him. Hey, dude, 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶𝗃 does not have good genes. Oh my God. You know what I mean? But this idea that there are good genes, they're not good fucking genes or bad genes. There's just fucking genes, man.
Not allowed.
Right. If you say only white people, that's crazy, right? But if you say no, if you're gonna do an ad, and my guess is if they were gonna do this ad 2 years ago or 5 years ago, they would. This is why it's an interesting topic. I think they would not have put a white person in that ad.
Dude, first off, I don't think 5 years ago they would have done an ad like that. Okay, they're doing this ad because this is the climate that's happening right now, right? The dominant political climate right now is ethnic cleansing. Okay, so ethnic people that are fucking into that sort of thing, that have that belief system, are coming out of the woodwork, man. You know what I'm saying?
I think that they would have had a conversation with the advertising executives, et cetera, and they would have decided, people will say that we're being racist or eugenics or Nazi or something. So if we're gonna say someone has good genes, we should make it a minority. Okay, that's my guess. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a pretty decent read of that culture, okay? So now white people are also allowed to have good genes, okay? And folks are saying,
so crazy.
Guys, it's a play on words. It's a play on words. If this is the hill you're choosing to die on.
See, that's his thing. If this is the hill you're choosing to die on, right? You see how he does that, right? Like that's always the left wing. If this is your hill you're choosing to die on, if this is the hill you're choosing to die on, but then if you're a right winger, Cenk is like, oh, dude, let's listen to MAGA. don't count Trump out. I know he's a rapist and a sexual abuser and a crook and a criminal and a degenerate, but he really might help Palestine. Oh, no, now he's not. He's going to, well, we're still going to fucking give him, you know, like, let's hear him out. Let's try to turn him, right? But if you're like, oh my God, I feel like this is eugenics. He's like, oh my God, how dare you? How dare you think this is eugenics? How dare you use the term racism, right? Yeah, he is. You know, Brumorin, he is being dismissive of a boundary because some people are like, wow, that's actually feels like a little eugenics because there's an ethnic cleansing happening in America right now. And they're like, what do you mean? Nope, no ethnic cleansing, not eugenics. You just are too sensitive. You're making shit up. Blah, blah. But like, dude, the same people that are yelling at us about like, wow, we don't like ethnic cleansing and we don't like the eugenics fucking implications of saying that there's such thing as good genes and bad genes. Those are the same people who are saying that like teachers are cutting kids' dicks off at school. Okay. They're like, oh my God, if they see a pride flag, they think you're going to cut their kid's dick off. And like, really? But you know, seeing a eugenics type impetus is outrageous, but thinking that your kid's dick is going to get cut off in fucking homeroom is normal and rational. Like, you're joking, right? And now here's the other thing. You see how they're focusing on the good genes, but here's the problem, Cenk and Anna and the rest of you people that let this racist bullshit slide. If you want to talk about people having good genes, that means some people have bad genes. So who are the people with bad genes, Cenk Uyghur? Right? Because if you go to those right wingers like Charlie Kirk, libs at TikTok, right? Fucking Mike Cernovich and wokeness, they think the people with bad genes are black people. They think the people with bad genes are the people born in Somalia. They think the people with bad genes are the people from Haiti. Remember the ones they accused of eating cats and dogs, eating pets because of their bad genes? They think the transgender people or the LGBTQ people they don't like have bad genes. They think the homeless people have bad genes. That's how they ended up homeless. You see where I'm going with this? Because the discussion isn't so much about Sydney Sweeney, oh, I have good genes. Nah. It's like if you start thinking there's a hierarchy of genes, well, who the fuck do you think has the bad ones? Because that's where you're going to find the racism and the bigotry, okay? And it's going to be unspoken because they're going to talk about having good genes, right? The blonde girl with the beautiful tits and the rich guy with lots of money will say, yeah, we have good ones. But they never actually vocally talk about who has the bad genes. That's always layered in their judgments, right? When they talk about Chicago and fucking Cincinnati and you know, they talk about people being wild animals or what have you, right? And so that's the thing they're overlooking. So you're not fucking getting this past me, Shanky Uyghur. Yeah, they use the low IQ tag. Thank you, David. Like they did with Kamala Harris, remember? Does Kamala Harris have bad genes? Because she was low IQ with her fucking law degree. And yes, and using the fucking phrase savages or what have you. It's like, nah, you know, we're onto your game, Cenk Uyghur and Anna Kasparian, but we know you guys are racist. We know it.
You're doing great damage.
So
because it annoys everyone.
Yeah, it does. It does. It is annoying. It's incredibly annoying. She is a popular actress who is helping brands sell their product.
Yeah, great. No one cares, Anna. Shut the fuck up. All right. No one cares, Anna. You're an unpopular political commentator who's helping right-wing people launder their bullshit, racism, misogyny, transphobia, and now eugenics. Fuck you, Anna. All right? No one cares. I mean, Sydney Sweeney, we like her better. But come on, right? You're helping us all like never buy anything with TYT on it again, right?
That's why they chose her. And she happens to have good genes. She is an attractive woman.
Yeah, see, there we go. That's it, though. She has good genes because she's an attractive woman, which means if you're not attractive like Sydney Sweeney, you have bad genes, right? That's bullshit, okay? That's bullshit. See, they don't even, like, they're so dumb. It's like, I'm surprised. Like, they're so fucking clueless. They don't even know what they're talking about. Yeah, somebody said, imagine if somebody went to 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗀 and said all the Armenian people have bad genes, right? Oh, yeah, she'd really love that, right? You know what I'm saying? Or if somebody, Cenk, we can never tell if he's an atheist or a Muslim. But if he was a Muslim one day and somebody said all the Muslims have bad genes, he'd be like, God damn, blow up Israel, right? You know what I mean? Like, come on, they're not fucking, they're not really fucking fooling anybody, these two.
White women are allowed to be attractive as well. Okay, like what is this? But anyway, Washington Post style memo newsletter writer Shane O'Neill wrote in response to the ad, the first thing I thought of when I heard the tagline, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, was the DHS Instagram account, which posted a subtly racist painting a few weeks ago and an explicitly racist painting last week.
I don't believe you.
But Shane,
I don't know what it is.
But that's your problem, Shane. That's your problem. It's your problem that you saw an ad and you immediately thought of the DHS posting.
Dude, they're so funny. That's your problem, Shane. Dude, but when MAGA says, transgender people should be in jail, do they respond to MAGA like this? Oh my God, that's your problem, MAGA. That's your problem. Thinking trans people should be in jail. That's your problem. Dude, I'm sorry, dude. I'm ready to be done with this already. I am. I feel like I can already make a video. They were easy to shred. We don't even have to listen to the rest of this. The rest of this is going to be just them fucking pissing on every leftist ice cream cone they can find, defending racism like they do with Tucker Carlson, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Dude, it's like, Jesus. Dude, it's all the same with them.
Something that you also found to be racist on X or Twitter or whatever. Like, not everything is a racist dog whistle. This ad is not a racist dog whistle. In fact, it seems pretty racist to me that people immediately get offended and are up in arms because the person in the ad happens to have light skin, blue eyes, and blonde hair. Who cares?
And they're saying they have good genes, right? While people with brown skin are being actively rounded up and put into alligator Alcatraz and sent to third fucking party prisons. Like, dude, what is she doing, bro?
Can I just say something there? I thought DHS for a second she was referring to some brand or something. Department of Homeland Security.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Dude, he just now figured out DHS was Kristi Noem's fucking outfit. Like, oh, good job, Cenk.
Look, this is a good exercise, right? So when Department of Homeland Security or ICE goes after an undocumented immigrant who is a criminal and was convicted, that is not racist, okay?
Okay, first off, let's look at the fucking painting here. This is the painting that the person, like, oh shit. Yeah, no, this is crazy, right? A heritage to be proud of, a homeland worth defending. And look at that, dude. It's fucking white people, fucking, right? I mean, there's a couple natives here, but they're like with the white people, with the white angel, the fucking cherub. Like, dude, what is this? Crazy, right? Right? The HH, oh, the heritage and the homeland, right? Is that fucking 14 words? Oh, it's 14 words and it has the HH. Is that part of their thing? Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, that's crazy. Because, you know what I'm saying? And it has the A and D capitalized. Right? crazy. Dude, yeah, this is wild. Dude, I know who posted it. It was Homeland Security, right? DHS. But like, you know what I'm saying? And what's crazy about this is, just so you guys know, right? Is like this shit is easy. Who is this John Gast? All right, so he's the painter. So they use the John Gast thing, but the crazy shit about this is you could have ChatGPT, right? If you had ChatGPT write something about heritage and homeland and defending and make it 14 words, like, it would be real easy to create this and have it fulfill that fucking 14 fucking Heil Hitler shit, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's real easy with AI to fucking do that shit, right? But yeah, this painting is gnarly. I mean, the whole white cherub angels and shit is really fucking disturbing, especially when you consider that fucking Jesus was a fucking Arab, bro. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a fucking break, dude. There was nobody hanging out with Jesus that fucking looked like this, dude. Like, no one in the Levant looked like this at the time of fucking Jesus. Not a one, man. Not a fucking one, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is like some weird fucking Sistine Chapel kind of shit. You know? Dude, this shit is crazy. Yeah, so Lila, I think we get socialized. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been socialized to believe that in like whiteness and you know, blondness and blue eyes and all that shit. I remember when I was a kid, guys, I had brown eyes and I was so upset by it. I was so broken up by it. I was so fucking, I felt like without blue eyes, like nobody was ever going to love me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's fucking, it's so, the programming was just so strong when I was younger. You know, there was a lot of programming that blonde hair and blue eyes was like the way you were supposed to be. That's the way it was. That was what was revered, right? She's holding the Epstein files. Dude. Oh shit, bro. And I like how she's like fucking, she's putting out the power lines or some shit. Like the angelic cherub is hooking up the electricity. Like, yeah, that's believable. I love this too with all the fucking buffalo. Although you know what happened really, right? What really happened in America is all the white guys killed all the buffalo. You know what I'm saying? All the white guys killed all the fucking buffalo and just piled them up and burned them to kill the food supply, to literally just destroy the native populations. Dude, they fucking started like just eradicating their food supply. Like, man, they weren't fucking flying around setting up electrical wires to be, you know, buddies with the natives. Like, dude, we were brutal. We were brutal.
When ICE picks up a random Latino person who's actually a legal resident here,
or an American citizen,
or any of those folks who are perfectly legal here, and then deports them to a country that they're not from, like El Salvador, that is racist, okay? And if you're saying as a Republican, no, it's not. Guys, they're not picking up Norwegians, right? Like and they're not picking up in that case, in that hypothetical, and which is real, they're not picking up people who are undocumented or criminals. It's a perfectly documented person, but they're like, Latino, round them up.
See, it's not even about the criminal or no criminal, Jank, because here's the problem with their little argument about immigration. Is if all of the immigrants that were working in the meatpacking plants and the farms and construction, if all of these undocumented people were white, they would not be rushing to get them out of the country, okay? They would not be rushing to get them out of the country. We fucking know this. okay? We know this, right? I mean, we know it. If they were white, this administration would have, I mean, we had white immigrants from South Africa. They fucking had a ticker tape parade for them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, we know this.
Right? Racist. But when you get to this ad, which is not racist on its face, but you are interpreting it as racist because it's about a white person. If a white person has good genes, that must mean eugenics and Nazis, etc. When you do that, you lose, no one believes you, and you lose the credibility when you say ICE is being racist when they pick up.
Oh, shut up, Cenk. Dude, we all have more credibility than you and Anna have at this point, bro. Like, dude, come on, bro. What are you telling us? Oh, you lose credibility? Dude, I'm not worried about my credibility, Cenk Uygur. And if I were you, I would not be worried about my credibility either. Because you really should worry about your own credibility because you have none because you're a whore. Dude, Jesus, bro. Oh, dude, he's the shoulder pads.
Up random Latinos who are legally here. Then people stop listening to you and they don't believe you when you need them to believe you on things that are important.
Oh yeah, his whole thing. Oh, you gotta behave the right way for them to believe you because we need MAGA to believe us in order to have a life. Dude, Cenk Uygur, fuck off, dude. Nobody believes you. You're an idiot. You're a racist. You said the N-word. You defend racists. You're gonna fucking vote for Tucker Carlson in 2028. Shut the fuck up. Dude, nobody's listening to you. You're not a populist. You're a bullshit artist. You're never gonna win an election and nobody's gonna fucking become part of your super PAC. Shut the fuck up. All right, that's it. That's all I have to say about Cenk Uygur, right? Dude, there you go, dude.
And real.
Pick your battles. It's that simple.
Oh,
pick
yeah.
your battles, and in my
Pick your battles. Tucker Carlson for president. Oh, Tucker. Pick your battles. Oh, Tucker. You've redeemed yourself. You're the holy redeemer. Oh, Tucker, you're so presidential. Pick your battles. Dude, Cenk looks like an extra from fucking, dude, Miami Vice? No, I think Cenk Uygur, he looks like an extra from like the fucking, I don't know, dude. What is that outfit? Dude, fucking a movie about mobsters in like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. That's what he looks like, right? A mobster in the UP, dude. Fucking, they're called moderately good. Moderately good fellas.
opinion,
Oh,
this is not
shit.
the hill to die on. Look, let's talk about what's actually offensive.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk
what
about
I find very offensive about this ad, there's two things actually, is number one, Sydney Sweeney needs to make statements and not make every sentence a question. Number one, I find that offensive. Number two, what is that outfit? You're trying to sell your jeans?
Dude, I thought the outfit was actually the only thing about it I did like was that outfit, right? Half button jeans and no shirt. I'm like that. I felt like, all right, that's my favorite part of the ad.
And that's what you're dressing her up in? Unacceptable.
I don't know why it's so baggy.
The baggy jeans are not for me, they're for other people, okay? The beautiful curves of a woman.
Dude, Anna's now, she's like a stylist.
Whether she's more curvaceous, less curvaceous, a woman's body, beautiful. Let's show it. Okay, the baggy jeans.
Dude, let's show it. Yeah, like just have the ad be naked, Anna. That'll go over well. Nobody will have an issue with that. Oh my God, if you show her body, the right wingers would be like, I saw a nipple. I'm going to hell. Oh fuck. Fucking peel out my eyes. My kid saw a nipple. He's never gonna be able to have a good life, right? Can you imagine? You know how fucked up they are, dude. Like you see a nipple. Or you see a pubic hair and it's like it's all over. The kid's just done. If their kid sees a pubic hair sticking out of a bathing suit, they're done, bro. They have to like sacrifice him to fucking Moloch or some shit. Bro, these fucking religious zealots.
Gene on gene violence, I don't allow it, okay? You gotta pick. Either you're gonna wear the jean jacket or you're gonna wear the jean pants. But you can't have it both at the same time. It's unacceptable.
So I'm coming at it in a way that in a funky place that I'm not sure a lot of people are, which is that I think it is partly because of the Trump era that they're now willing to put a white person in an ad that they would normally put a minority in, right? So because they'd be too.
Dude, there were plenty of white people in fucking ads, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they act like no white people have been in ads. All right? Like, dude. It's like, what are they fucking talking about? You know what I mean? Like, they acting like there's no white people in ads. Like, my God, dude, open up a Cosmopolitan magazine. Open up a Vogue magazine. Dude, I get Vanity Fair. And dude, there is no shortage of fucking white people in fucking ads. At any time. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, dude.
Nervous and touchy about saying good white people have good genes. But I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that we should all be equal.
Oh, wait, what is this?
Because of the Trump era, that they're now willing to put a white person in an ad that they would normally put a minority in, right? So because they'd be too nervous and touchy about saying good white people have good genes. But
white people, they'd be too nervous and touchy about saying white people have good genes. But Shank Uyghur, if white people have good genes, what people have bad genes? I mean, you said it right there. If white people have good genes, what people have bad genes? White people? Brown people? Black people? Fucking, you know? Right? I mean, you know what I mean? There it is.
Funky place that I'm not sure a lot of people are, which is that I think it is partly because of the Trump era that they're now willing to put a white person in an ad that they would normally put a minority in, right? So because they'd be too nervous and touchy about saying good white people have good genes. But I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that we should all be equal. Like,
we should all be equal.
Sorry to everyone who hates me. I have good genes, not in terms of attractiveness, but in other regards, right?
Yeah, no, dude, you have genes.
My logical reasoning is excellent. But it's not exclusive to Turks, and it doesn't exclude Turks. So you can stop excluding white people from things that are good and positive.
Dude, see, he's so funny though, because if you go to Europe, like the Turkish people, like there's a lot of racism against the fucking Turks. Oh my God, dude. There's a lot. It is like very extreme in Europe. You know what I'm saying? They are so like nobody thinks they have fucking good genes.
And I get it. In the past, it was the media would only associate things that were positive with white people. I get that happened.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
That definitely happened. But now the right response to that is equality. The right response to that isn't now we exclude white people from that because
equality. Yeah, it's the people that are attacking DEI, or the people that are like your beer buddy Charlie Kirk, who's like, every time I see a black pilot, I know that they're not fucking competent, right? Oh yeah, all right.
Sigrid McCall.
Whoops! All right, I fucking skipped the rest. Dude, it's dance party time. Dude, there was nothing in that last minute that we hadn't seen. All right, it was all fucking whatever. Moving on, we're gonna dance. I fucking skipped it. I guess I could go back. We can go back here. What do we got?
Things that were positive with white people. I get that happened.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
That definitely happened. But now the right response to that is equality. The right response to that isn't now we exclude white people.
Yeah, that's what MAGA's after, is equality. No, I actually think like white people could be a little bit excluded for a while. I do. I think white people could be excluded a little bit, right? I think so.
Because of that ugly past.
And by the way, I mean, if you've been watching television shows and if you've been watching ads, they're way more diverse than they were when I was growing up. When I was growing up, every supermodel was white.
Yeah, no shit. And they are more diverse, but that doesn't mean we fucking sit on our laurels. Because guess what? We got a president who is very racist there, Anna. Right? Very racist. You guys were very racist against Kamala Harris and Karen Bass. Right? Dude.
Now you look at ads, you look at supermodels, people with diverse backgrounds. It's a wonderful thing.
Hey, guys, you know what? Oprah is a billionaire, guys. That means forget about that crazy wealth gap where like all of the black families have like $10,000 in wealth, while all of the white families have like $150,000 in wealth, because Oprah is a billionaire, guys. So, you know, I mean, how bad can it be? Oprah is like got a lot of billions, right? Dude, what a fucking clownery from these two. Jesus.
But let's not ruin it by needlessly being like hateful and discriminatory against actresses or models who do happen to be white and are good at selling product.
Dude, you cannot be discriminatory against a white person. Like, fuck off. Not in America. Fuck off.
For these brands. So it's that simple. I don't think we need to make a big deal about this. But here we have it.
All you transgender people that are going to the bathroom, stop being discriminatory towards the fucking people trying to use the bathroom. What the fuck is she talking about? Oh my God, dude. Jesus Christ, the argument from these guys.
Last thing I'll say is that I like that our audience is split on it because it's a diversity of thought. Even if I don't agree with you, but you make your argument in the chat, etc., and you're part of the show, good, that's how we sort things out, right?
Oh yeah, good, that's how we sort things out. Yeah, that's how we discover who the racists are. Thank you for outing yourselves, right? Yeah, and again, dude, you're right. I agree with what Stoudman says there, where I don't think this was about Sydney Sweeney at all. I think it was about the general content of the ad, right? It's like the message of the ad campaign is this idea that some people have good genes. The beautiful people, the rich people, the successful actors have good genes, and the people that aren't that have bad ones, which is inferred. And it's like, fuck you, right? Like, you know, we all just have genes. Right? And look at Shank though, dude. He always looks like he just got off the fucking treadmill, doesn't he? Yeah. Yeah, some folks have bad genes. But see, they never talk about that, guys. That's the thing. They never talk about who has the bad ones. They only talk about who has the good ones in a way that tells you who has the bad ones. Right? If the white people have the good ones, well, then we know who has the bad ones, right? The non-white people. Yeah, thank you, white supremacy. You fucking cucks. All right, you ready? It's dance party time. It's time to get limber, baby. Oh, shit. All right, you ready? You ready? You ready? Dude, trans people get moved to the front of the line for people waiting to piss on Trump's grave. Dude, I love that. Oh my God, that's the greatest fucking, I love that. That is the greatest fucking sentiment I've ever heard. All right, we're gonna do our usual song from our Swedish artist, a little deja vu. Here we go, baby.
bit holy, an notion that I will make it out somehow. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you and I can see it light. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you and I can see it light. Things will turn out alright this time, I know.
Whoa! Then the heart rate kicked up. Let's go! Woo! Oh shit, bro!
The day I find what a peace of mind you are.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Life is a wonderful mess. Woo! Dude,
time to walk away.
dude, let's go.
My sunshine in
Dude, you gotta love though 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶, right? Because 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶 is a guy who takes money from Polymarket, right? He takes money from Polymarket to try and get the money out of politics, right? Right? That's what we're gonna do. Take a big fat corporate paycheck to get money out of politics. All right. Woo. Dude, let's go. Yeah, click the like button. Answers. You're all I've got. You're all I want. Some days it just feels like this will never be enough. Most days it just feels like a struggle to catch up. And I don't mind if they all find what a peace of mind you are. 'Cause life is a wonderful mess. You're all I got. Dude, I gotta say, dude, right? Listening to this old music, this is Wonderful Mess from my band Number 3 Breakdown back in 2003. When we listen to this shit, it's like, dude, that was some of my best lyric writing, I think, ever, was during the Number 3 Breakdown, like, time period, which is crazy because I blew up that band because we were, like, getting big and I didn't like the band. I didn't want to go on that ride in that band. Like, I wanted to get big. I wanted to, like, have success. I just didn't want it in that band because I was not happy in that band, right? But man, the lyrics from that time period were just fucking, my writing was so good, bro. So good. Would have been a great album if we had stuck it out, but I had to get out. All right, we are now watching Alyssa Slotkin. Let me readjust my title, though, because we're not going to get to the BTC thing tonight, right? But I am going to go ahead and put the, there we go. There we go. All right, perfect. Let's change our title a little bit.
Shoulder pads are dope on Cenk Uygur. But let's go. All right, you ready? So, dude, I've never watched this show. I have to be honest. I know that's crazy. I've never watched this show. I've watched a few minutes of this. Just the few minutes of the intro. Alyssa Slotkin's face when it first starts. Dude, she has the worst faces. I know it's crazy. I don't mean to be judgmental. But I can't get over the way Alyssa Slotkin looks. There's something about the way she looks. I just don't trust her, right? She, I don't know, man. She looks like a deceiver. She does. She's got like an energy about her. Oops, that is like, whoa. All right. There we go. You know what I mean? Dude, she is no good. You know what I mean? I will say this, though. Like, I didn't love this guy, but that was just a first impression. She's different than Nancy Mace, right? Because Nancy Mace is like, you know, she's crazy and destructive, right? Alyssa Slotkin is somebody who is like posing as somebody helpful, okay? But you know what I mean? But you know, the thing about this is she appears like she's helpful, but she's also like, you know, she has her allegiances, all right? Like she took 10 million from the crypto industry and then she advanced Trump's Genius Act. You know what I'm saying? There is something about her that is like, you know, she could watch you get tied to a chair and beheaded and fucking have a sandwich while she's watching that. You know what I'm saying? You know, there is a, you know, it's like there's a line in Hotel California about they keep stabbing with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast, right? And she's like the beast in that song lyric, you know, where she would literally be sitting there eating a fucking sandwich and sipping hot cocoa while somebody's taking a bone saw and cutting off your fucking head. You know what I mean? And she'd be like, I've got an appointment. I've got a nail appointment in 20 minutes. Can we get his head off quicker, please? And who forgot the lettuce? Like, stop sawing and go get me some lettuce. And then fucking thank you. All right. You ready? Here we go. All right, let's check it out.
Joining us now is Senator Alyssa Slotkin of Michigan. Senator, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We have a very limited amount.
Dude, that look, bro. That look.
Alyssa Slotkin of Michigan. Senator,
she's like, dude, what is that look, dude? Dude, she reminds me. I just can't get over it, dude. Dude, I just can't get over fucking, you know what I'm saying, dude? She is fucking Peppermint Patty. Like, so hardcore. Dude, I mean, tell me she's not, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, she is like fucking Peppermint Patty, bro. Like 100%, dude. I just can't not see it. Dude, oh shit, bro. Oh, fuck. Right? Dude. All right, here we go.
Joining us now is Senator Alyssa Slotkin of Michigan. Senator, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We have a very limited amount of time. This is the internet, so you're here, and it's important that we ask some of the questions that are animating some of the younger voters and others. I assume that's part of the reason that you're here. The first is about Jeffrey Epstein. It's a story that's really captured a lot of America's interest. So you're a former CIA officer. Do you think that Jeffrey Epstein had any connections to U.S. or Israeli intelligence agencies?
So, not that I've ever seen or heard, but there's No, I haven't asked. But you know, this is like a solvable question because
Dude, that's crazy. Think about the ramifications of that. Is there any connection? Not that I've heard. And she says, have you asked? No, I haven't asked. But the question would be like, how could you not ask? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like Alex Acosta, when he let him off and gave him immunity fucking 18 years ago, made some sideways claim of him being intelligence assets. but like, why wouldn't you ask? Right? Right? You know what I mean? I know I could stop it every 5 seconds. I'm going to let it play. But it's pretty wild, dude. You know what I mean? It's pretty fucking wild, that.
Really intelligence agencies.
So, not that I've ever seen or heard, but there's No, I haven't asked. But this is like a solvable question because President Trump's CIA director, John Radcliffe, can answer this question, right? There is no shortage of people in this administration who can answer that question. I would be very surprised. I'm going to be honest. I know your views on it. I would be surprised.
Okay.
But I'm like a Middle East analyst. I was doing my time going after terrorist groups and militias in Iraq. And so I never saw it. I never heard anything about that. I, again, would be surprised, but there's an easy way to solve that problem.
Well, that's the question then. So in terms of, because I know you've expressed some concern about classified information, et cetera, in the past, would you be fine then with the full release of these Trump Epstein files, even if they did reveal an intelligence connection?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, like, it's such a distraction from, in my mind, like what I really care about, which is helping people like live well in Michigan. Just get it over with and get it out. And this wasn't like my issue. It's still not the thing that wakes me up in the morning and I want to work on. But I think it's okay to say it's a full distraction now in Washington. Everyone's talking about it. So,
dude, it's crazy. It's not the issue that she wants to work on, but like, I don't know, man. Isn't a culture? Not saying it needs to be anybody's front running issue, but you would think for all women. Isn't women no longer being fucking sexual fucking like commodities for adult men when they're teenagers? Isn't that a huge issue? Like still now, like I always say this, next time you're in an Olive Garden or a Red Robin, right? Or one of those kinds of restaurants, watch when a 14-year-old girl gets up and walks to the bathroom, watch the suburban dads, watch them. And like follow her like across the fucking restaurant. I mean, dude, it's palpable, especially when you get into those redneck sort of areas. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, it was the culture I grew up in. Like young girls being sexualized, even to the point of like when I was a teenager, I would bring a girlfriend home. My dad would be like, man, the minute he'd meet her, he'd be like, if I was 20 years younger, I'd be like, what? If you were 20 years younger, you'd be like statutory raping my fucking girlfriend? Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you, Dad? You know what I mean? It was hardwired into redneck small town culture, dude. It's pretty gnarly. And it's biblical. You know what I'm saying? It's biblical. But she said how this is a distraction. A distraction from what? From your Medicare for All proposal, Alyssa Slotkin? Is that what it is? It's a distraction from that Medicare for All plan that you have to help your Michigan people live better, right? You see what I did there? How I just threw her under the bus, right? Because she doesn't actually support full-blown policies that would help her people. But again, though, guys, I'd rather have Alyssa Slotkin be the senator for Michigan than a Republican. I know that's where it gets hard, right? Because what do? We just want to make sure that she's not the norm. We don't want her involved in party leadership, okay?
Just unveil it, do whatever you need to do, answer the questions, and move past
Well,
it.
that's the last question then. So there's some accusations here from the Republicans on Epstein here, just about, why didn't you care for over 4 years? I know you asked the question in 2020. You said, I don't care particularly about Bill Clinton, et cetera. I mean, that's somewhat understandable, but, we do have a person, very circumstances, let alone, the sex trafficking organization, others. So, why don't you answer that question? Like, why is this now is the time that you do care?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously,
it's horrible when you have a pedophile and someone who had a literal pyramid scheme of recruiting 14 and 15-year-old girls for illegal sex. I mean, it's horrible. At the time, I sort of saw it as like one of these horrible stories that comes out every 5 months, about somebody. I think the Weinstein thing had happened. There weren't Michiganders, to my knowledge, who were involved, women, young girls who were involved. So I kind of saw it as like a horrible moment, but not particularly something that's like going to decide whether someone in my state can buy a house or get a good job. So to me, it was just like it wasn't like a strategic issue,
Got it.
right, for me. And then now,
To be fair, it was during the Democratic administration that Ghislaine Maxwell was put in prison for 20 years. So let's at least say, okay, somebody put somebody in jail for it. Now, the black book, though, should have come out. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's going to get bad, dude. Oh, shit.
it just is like grown. And I think there is a difference between saying some rich guy or a former politician was named in those things versus the president of the United States. That to me is apples to oranges, because one of them is leading the free world and one of them's not. So if his name is in there as it appears it is, just like deal with it and let's get on with it at this point. And you know, my 10-year-old nephew understands that the president is trying to dodge, trying to distract, trying to talk about other things. He hates answering this question. Like, we get it. So it feels off to the average person, right? To a 10-year-old, they're like, did he do something, right? So just get through it, get it out, and let's move on to for me, like real economic issues.
So then if he's
real economic issues. Yeah, it's the real economic issues like Medicare for all and increased minimum wage and, you know what I mean? And
legislation comes forward, you
Yeah.
would vote for it to support the release of the files.
Sure.
Okay, all right. So then let's talk about future of the Democratic Party. I know that's something you've been interested in. Democratic approval hit an all-time low from the Wall Street Journal.
dude, look at Krystal. Looks like she is ready to just eviscerate this woman. Have you been noticing her body English? Like, you know what I mean? If I was in the room, her producer's probably like, are we going to have to go and fucking restrain her? Dude, I know, CJ, that's part of my joke about the Medicare for all, right? Is that's why I keep saying it, CJ, because we know Alyssa Slotkin doesn't really support policies that actually help people, right? Like, she doesn't support free education. She doesn't support Medicare for all. She doesn't support, like, you know, a radical increase to the minimum wage. She doesn't support fucking controls on corporations. You know what I'm saying? She like completely fucking you know, does not support any of that stuff. Like, her talking about wanting to make people's lives more livable is really a lot of lip service. You disagree with the assessment? So, Zick, I don't disagree with her assessment there, because what I think is though I think everybody who was involved with Epstein and raping teen girls, everybody who's involved should be brought to justice, right? But when the current president of the United States is involved in that, right? Like, you know, it ramps it up a notch, because this is a guy who is in charge of all of our fucking security and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know, I just feel like the current president, right? Like, somebody stealing money and being corrupt is one thing, but our elected president being corrupt and stealing money while he's in office is like more severe. Or, you know, you know what I'm saying? Because it feels like it needs to be more immediate. You know, because Clinton, right, if he's in it and he did it, fine, put him in jail. But putting Clinton in jail and a former president in jail is a lot different than going to the White House and arresting a current president, right? I mean, if fucking the current president goes to jail, it upsets the power balance of the whole world right now. You know, it's like, I don't know, it is a big deal. It's a big deal. But also, it's political. Right? The Dems are jumping on this now because it's the big political thing they have on Trump. I mean, of course, we know there's politics at play. Of course. But at the same time, though, like, fuck, bro. You know, the Republicans just spent 5 years lying about an election. So I don't want to hear it, right? They lied about an election for 5 years. They're still fucking lying about it. So fuck you. We're going to fucking run this Epstein thing right up until the train fucking goes right off the rails. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And well, for sure, dude, everybody who does that shit is trashy. You know, that's
at the
without
same
a
time,
doubt.
we've seen the rise more recently of anti-establishment candidates, people like Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah.
Give us some of your thoughts there about the future of the Democratic Party, and particularly in the context of Mamdani's victory in New York City.
Well, I guess as a good Midwesterner and Michigander, I'm never going to say that what happens in New York City represents all of America. Sorry, we're a big country, and I would never pretend to totally understand New York City politics. I didn't particularly understand Eric Adams. I didn't particularly understand, I genuinely, right? But I think the message and the hot take out of that election is actually not terribly dissimilar from what we heard in the November election when Trump won.
See, here's what's interesting, guys, because I don't know if Alyssa Slotkin realized this at the moment, and I have not seen this, so I don't know how it's going to play out. But you've noticed that everything they've asked her, she has gone back to rely on a crutch about, well, it doesn't really affect Michiganders, my people in Michigan, my Michigan people. She's really used that as a sort of like escaping culpability card. But like, man, when they talk about Gaza and Palestine, she's going to really crash into something there, because Michigan has the highest level of like Muslims and I think Palestinian people in the whole country. So, like, I'm curious to see what she's going to say there when they get to the Gaza shit, because all of a sudden, okay, this is an issue that is, like, front and center, like, massive to a huge population of your Michigan fucking, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's really interesting because she's been using the Michigan thing, and I feel like, oh, shit, dude, she's about to get jacked by this, right? Oh, Lord.
I think the message and the hot take out of that election is actually not terribly dissimilar from what we heard in the November election when Trump won, right? Which is people are still focused on the cost of living and not being able to achieve what they thought they could achieve, right? And then number two, people are looking for a new generation of leadership. I don't think it's hard to miss those hot takes. I can have plenty of disagreements with what I've heard Mr. Mamdani propose, and I do. But that message coming out of that election—
What do you disagree with?
Just, my family was a fourth generation hot dog business. Like, I am here because we live the American dream through capitalism.
Okay.
And so, like, a lot of free stuff, to me, is not the answer. I don't think it's—
A lot of free stuff. Yikes. Is that like, our tax cuts to the wealthiest people, does that count as free stuff? Right? You know what I'm saying? Does a whole bunch of money being given to Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and the Walton family, does that count as free stuff? Because I don't like that free stuff, right? Free buses? Oh yeah, you fucking poor people, you got to bootstrap and pay for that goddamn bus, right? But, oh shit, you're a billionaire. Wait, how much money can I give you? Dude, what a fucking bitch. I'm sorry, Alyssa Slotkin. Yeah, that's a terrible take, because right now there's a whole bunch of free stuff. It just goes to the wealthy people, man.
It's sustainable. I don't think that it actually fixes the underlying problem. But I can have those disagreements. I think this is I would be thrilled.
What is the underlying problem, does she think? You know what I'm saying? Her grandpa started Ballpark Franks. Of course she's a Nepo baby. Yeah, no, of course she's fucking like wealthy. Dude, that free stuff line really bothers me, right? Because she's like, it doesn't solve the underlying problem. What's the underlying problem then, Alyssa Slotkin? The underlying problem is people like you with the Ballpark Franks lineage, or people like the Walton family that inherited a massive business from their dad, is you guys get free stuff all day long, okay? Paid for from the taxes of fucking poor people, right? Yeah, free stuff. Like, if my money goes to buy healthcare, I'm getting free stuff. But if my money goes to buy missiles, I'm getting, you know, what exactly, right? Dude, fuck, bro.
And so, like, a lot of free stuff, to me, is not the answer. I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think that it actually fixes the underlying problem. But I can have those disagreements. I think this is I would be thrilled to have that conversation with him or anyone else about, like, hey, we agree that there's an economic problem here. what we do to solve it, let's have that debate. And adults can debate and not like want to kill each other's children.
Well, let's talk then about leadership. So you just talked about that. We see a lot of that from our show. Some of the Democratic side of our audience is furious with Democratic leadership. I mean, do you still support Chuck Schumer's leadership here? He hasn't given an interview in about a month.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I've now served in the Senate for 6 months, in the House before that. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries have hard jobs, like herding cats. It's not fun. I've said for a very long time, long before I got into the Senate and long before President Biden dropped out, that we need a new generation of leadership. You can feel it in, and I think—
Dude, see, she wants to be the new generation of leadership. I'm telling you what, man, if she becomes the new generation of leadership, like, dude, we need to fucking detonate the fucking party, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, she ain't it. She is not it. You know what I'm saying? She is not it.
At this point, I mean, especially New York, right? You're looking at New York, it's like, I'd rather roll the dice with someone new than have like the warmed over leftovers that I've already known. So I think we have a problem with that across the board. And I think one of the things I can do as the youngest Democratic woman in the Senate, and you know, I'm not young, I'm just young for the Senate, to be clear.
You're young for us.
Yeah. I mean, is push on that and try to give younger leaders a voice in this party in a very real way. And to me, that's upward pressure. That pressure that you're talking about from the people is good.
So then shouldn't they endorse him? I mean, what kind of a message Schumer and Jeffries, shouldn't they endorse?
They're both from New York.
Donnie, they're both New Yorkers.
Yeah.
And what kind of a message does it send if, like, I mean, this guy won the Democratic primary.
Yeah.
He is the Democratic nominee. It was.
Yeah, and they have been vote blue no matter who, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, vote blue no matter who has been like the fucking tagline, bro. And they've said it. They've argued for it. Vote blue no matter who until the blue is DSA. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, all the fucking corporate lackeys are like, I don't know if I can vote blue now. Oh, I'm going to endorse the fucking fire hydrant on fucking 42nd Street. You fucking assholes.
Schumer and Jeffries. Shouldn't they endorse?
They're both from New York.
Donnie, they're both New Yorkers.
Yeah.
And what kind of a message does it send if, like, I mean, this guy won the Democratic primary.
Yeah.
He is the Democratic nominee. It was overwhelming. If then the centrist leadership of the party said, we can't get behind him.
I mean, you just asked me before we started the exact same question about the Michigan Senate primary, and I'm like, Michigan Democrats don't get involved in primaries. We all are friends. So I can't speak to what they're doing. I think, I hope that they're meeting. I mean, if this person is...
They did.
Yeah, okay.
And Hakeem Jeffries still refused to endorse him. I mean, think about it from this context. Like, let's say in 2028, a more moderate figure wins the Democratic primary, and a bunch of progressives, AOC or whoever says, we're not backing, we don't agree with you. I feel like you would have a problem.
Yeah, you know they would fucking piss themselves over that, dude, right? Like, that is such a good point. Dude, they are constantly demanding the progressives get on board with the centrists, but the minute a progressive wins, they're like fucking puffing
with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I will say this. The way that this party works,
dude, she's not going to answer the question.
is when there's a coalition that sticks together. That's like a numbers issue.
Oh yeah, that's the way the party works. But you're not going to go on record saying, yeah, fucking Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries should fucking should endorse.
That's a data issue, and so I'm always going to be someone who's trying to find unity. That doesn't mean we all agree with each other. And I think I wasn't in the conversations where they met privately. What they debated, what they talked about, I don't know. But to me, we got to figure out what's common among all Democrats right now. And that's why I focus on the economy, because that is, to me, the cost of living and people not being able to achieve what their parents achieved is the existential issue of our time, is the unifying issue of like all the right-wing, left-wing, like Americans.
See, I don't believe her though, because she keeps talking about free stuff, right? Which is like healthcare. Fucking nationalized healthcare is a minimum. A fucking minimum. If you don't have nationalized healthcare, you are not trying to help livability of your people. You don't fucking care about your people at all, okay? right? The number one thing, dude, I had a kid, he's 20 years old. The first thing that I did for my kid was make sure he has access to fucking healthcare. Okay, quality healthcare. You need to see a therapist. You need physical therapy. You need glasses. You need your teeth fixed. You're feeling under the weather. You need your checkups. Yes, it starts with health. Dude, that's like the bare minimum, right? If you don't offer all of your citizens the same healthcare that their elected officials get, you don't give a fuck about the people. She's lying. Okay, she doesn't believe in healthcare. She thinks healthcare is free stuff, right? Fuck her, dude. Fuck her. Sorry, no free stuff. Sorry, the Waltons. You're not getting a fucking tax credit. Sorry, Jeff Bezos. No more free money for you, you bald fucking bitch. Sorry, fucking Elon Musk. No more free fucking, government subsidies so you can jerk off in a rocket fucking telling everybody you're going to Mars. You fuckers.
I don't even think it's a Democratic Party thing. And to me, that's where I spend my time because I think 80% of my constituents in Michigan, that's where they live, is like, I just want to be able to go to Disneyland and take my kids the way my dad took me. So that's where I focus on. I'm happy to sit down with any leader. I
just want to be able to go to Disneyland. Like, dude, I mean, sure, that may be part of it, but don't you think, like, we deserve a little bit more out of life than to just be able to go to Disneyland? Like, really? Like, that should be a minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, dude, oh yeah, 80% of Michigan just wants to be able to go to Disneyland. Like, really? I think they want, like, some of Michigan wants to have water without fucking lead in it. Right? Some of Michigan wants to be able to fucking walk down the street without getting stopped and frisked. Right? Some of Michigan's worried about, Israel, who fucking gave you a bunch of money to get into office, blowing up all their fucking relatives. And they're getting pictures sent home of their fucking grandchildren and shit with fucking stubs for fucking limbs, right? And really? It's like, oh, Disneyland. Oh, I wish I could go to Disneyland. Oh, I'm sorry that Junior's got lead poisoning and fucking my daughter just graduated from college and she's $500,000 in debt. And the only job she can get is fucking working for ICE, right? But, at least we can go to Disneyland. Dude, Jesus.
Speak to their particular decision to endorse or not. But, I'm not endorsing in my own
right, but
primary.
Just the last question on
that. He won the primary.
Right, that's my question.
That's what's different.
And by 12, I'm sorry to ask this. They have another election though, yeah?
Yeah, the endorsing he is the Democratic candidate. Look at her, dude. This is what I don't like. Like, she's playing dumb. Like, does she not know that Zohran Mamdani won the primary? She's like, oh, I'm not endorsing in the primary. Yeah, we get it. You don't endorse in the primary because you support all the candidates. But then somebody wins and you back the fucking candidate, bro. Jesus.
A general election.
General election.
He is the Democratic nominee.
I see. I'm sorry. This is why I'm saying I don't follow New York politics.
All right.
And
she doesn't follow the biggest news, right? I mean, I don't think you have to follow New York politics to be following Zohran Mamdani, right? It's like literally like one of the biggest news stories. But all right, Alyssa Slotkin, she's real busy like fucking checking the price to Disneyland.
I think you'd have to ask them. I don't know. I know that for me, whoever wins the Democratic primary in the state of Michigan for the Senate seat that's up, that's who I will endorse, regardless of who it is.
All right, that was
there we go. All right, so she did say she would endorse the winner of the primary. AOC endorsed Mamdani, of course. Dude.
So I'm going to turn it to Krystal now.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'm actually a little curious, and forgive me if this is impolite. Like, I'm curious why you wanted to talk to us.
What do you mean?
Well, like, we don't have actually a lot of senators, especially ones who have very different ideology than us, reach out. So I'm curious what your goal was and why you thought to come here.
Well, first of all, I think you have a good audience. I mean, right?
We agree.
If you appealed to like 4 friends on YouTube or whatever, then I probably wouldn't be here. But I think, to me, part of the problem,
dude, she's trying to sell herself, right? She's trying to sell herself as the future of the Democratic Party. Oh man, dude, I love Krystal. Dude, I really like Krystal. She is sharp. All right, here we go.
If you appeal to like 4 friends on YouTube or whatever, then I probably wouldn't be here. But I think, to me, part of the problem is that people have kind of gone to their corners. And I live this, right? I live on my family farm in a town that voted heavily for Donald Trump. I've never won my town. I've never won my precinct. I've never won my neighbors. We get along, but I never won them, and I probably never will. So to me, I think that the people have gone to their corners, and like people who used to be able to talk about politics and disagree don't even get in the same room together. So I kind of like the idea of your show. Like, it was interesting to me when my team pitched me, right? We go through, and like, there's no hiding it. Lots of people are like, how do we evolve in this new space? You know, like that's not you know, it's not that conversation isn't happening. It is, and I think that's good, and to the credit of lots of shows like yours.
Thank you.
But I think your show appealed to me as I was being pitched.
Because it has both sides is why I think she appealed to it. She felt like there was going to be a safety with it having the partial of the red side.
Because you guys don't agree. And like, I am very focused. My dad was a lifelong Republican, my mom a lifelong Democrat. Like, Michiganders want to get back to a place where we can disagree on politics and not have it be so like bitter.
So I hear you on the idea of like, you want to talk about the economics and the unifying and cost of living. And I think that ignores a big elephant in the room, especially when you're talking about even Zohran Mamdani. The reason Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer don't want to endorse him is because of his position on Israel. The single most viral clip that he had in that election actually wasn't about cost of living, even though that's what he wanted to make his campaign about. His opponents, Andrew Cuomo in particular, wanted to make it all about accusing him of anti-Semitism and attacking him for his views on Israel and Palestine. So the most viral moment from that entire campaign, I believe, was this moment on the debate stage. Guys, this is E1. Let me go ahead and play this for you, and then I want to get your reaction.
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not as a Jewish state?
No, as a state with equal rights.
Now, this was considered very controversial when he said it.
Dude, why is that controversial? I agree that Israel has a right to exist as a state with equal rights, which means like Israel can exist and everybody that lives in Israel, no matter who they are, they have equal rights. I mean, that doesn't seem fucking revolutionary, man. And yeah, dude, that line of questioning is really bizarre because why would the mayor of New York have to go to fucking Israel? Israel has nothing to do with fucking New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, there's no fucking reason the mayor of any city in America needs to go to Israel. Like, what the fuck, bro? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing, they're not involved in U.S. foreign policy. There's no fucking pressing issue. He has a bunch of Jewish New Yorkers that need to be represented that have real world fucking problems here in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, but going to Israel, why would you go to Israel unless you are like talking about like what you're going to be doing for Israel? It has nothing to do with fucking being the mayor of New York.
And I think the results are in at this point that he didn't win in spite of his position there. He won in part because of it. Including, if you listen to Andrew Cuomo's numbers, he won a majority of Jewish voters inside of New York City. And so what I'm curious for your view on is, while, you know, I would love to debate you on your healthcare policy. I think we need Medicare for all. You think public option, your housing policy, et cetera. I'm just being really real with you. I don't really hear what you say if you are still supporting a genocide in Gaza. And that's for me, you know, I'm speaking for myself, but I know there are millions of other people who feel the same, that you have to at least cross this sort of moral threshold. And what it indicates to people, and I think part of why, you know, Zoran won so many people in New York City, young people in particular, but Jewish New Yorkers, people across the board, is because it was a sign of, number one, okay, you're focused on New York City first and foremost.
Sure.
Number two, you're willing to take the heat on an issue that is really difficult for you, where you're being overtly smeared as an anti-Semite. And number three, there's no, you know, entrenched interest that's going to control. You have a spine, you have principles, you're willing to stand up for something. And so, you know, I'm curious for your reflections on that because of your voting record and where you've stood on this conflict.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the proudest moments that I had in my last election, where I just won on the same ballot as Donald Trump, was that I won a majority of Jewish voters in Michigan. We have a large Jewish population. And I won Dearborn, Dearborn Heights, and Hamtramck, the 3 Muslim-dominated cities. Trump won 2 out of the 3. So I think the thing that I would push back on is the voters vote with their feet, right? We have a moment in an election where they get to decide. And there was no issue that was more difficult for me in this last, I would say 6 years, but certainly in this last election, other than this issue, because it's personal. I'm a Middle East analyst by training. And so what I tried to do and why I think I managed to win both those communities is call balls and strikes, literally up to this week, on what's going on.
So let's talk a little bit more about that.
But I think it's important, right? If you're going to push on me, then I think like there's one of us that's had an election and had to appeal to my voters and win. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that
Dude, you see that? If you're going to push on me, there's one of us who had an election and win. So she's like sort of pulling the I won an election on my viewpoint card, and you, right? But to be fair, Slotkin, Dearborn voted for Donald Trump, and look at where that's gotten them, right? Into the fucking West Bank being invaded, fucking Trump Gaza. Like, thank you. Dearborn got fucked. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mr. Mamdani won. Or actually, I didn't know his name. I didn't know much about him until he won. But because I think this issue is motivating people in a very visceral and personal way.
Yeah.
But it's not the only issue that my voters in Michigan care about.
Of course.
And the online world is extremely, extremely focused on this. But that doesn't always represent the majority. And I think if I can push back, like if we're out on the road every day in Michigan when I'm there. In some communities, that issue is the number one issue, 100%. And like, I mean, up till this morning, right? Like people texting my phone and talking about a plan, some of the things we're working on. But I go outside the Detroit area, it's not in the top 40.
But Senator, it's not just a political issue, it's also a moral issue is what I'm trying to get to. So let's talk about those, you know, calling of balls and strikes, if you will. So first of all, do you accept that Israel has a policy of enforced famine and starvation in the Gaza Strip?
I think I literally put my name on a letter yesterday or last night that says like a policy of starvation, people are starting to starve. And in general, I mean, I served in places like Ramadi and Fallujah. I watched in 2004 and 2005, al-Qaeda terrorists drag American citizens behind a vehicle until they died, right? Like horrible, and then string them up, like a lynching.
Okay.
We still had a responsibility to get aid into Fallujah, despite the fact that we were fighting al-Qaeda cells in Fallujah, and I have been clear about that.
So this is a crime against humanity. Forced starvation is a crime against humanity.
The occupying power has a responsibility to get aid into the war zone, period.
So
by the law of war.
So in addition, do you accept that the Israeli plan, as reported by Haaretz, as discussed openly by ministers like Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, as backed by the President of the United States, is forced ethnic cleansing?
I think we have, as recently as yesterday, the Prime Minister of Israel talking about forced migration into certain areas and then potentially out of the country. That is not legal. That is not on any international standard since World War II.
See, here's what's hard is, and I'm curious, I'm just going to pause here to take a breath because I'm curious how Krystal's going to move ahead, because this reminds me of the discussion I had with Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, okay, where he was talking about a Twitch policy, right, and related to political fucking talk. It's way different fluff compared to this. What they're talking about is like a real issue. But the fundamental thing was Dan Clancy was having a discussion about a Twitch policy. But I was trying to have a discussion with him about, forget the policy, where do you morally stand on that issue? Because you're the head of Twitch, you're enforcing this policy, but do you believe morally in this policy you're enforcing? Because this policy you're enforcing about political speech is bullshit. And you and I both know it, but you're telling me you actually believe the bullshit you're enforcing? And that's what she's doing here. She is opting out of making a moral taking a moral stand. She's just saying the law. Well, you know what, Alyssa Slotkin? In 1960, segregation was the law. Okay, the law, right? Whether it's the law or not the law is not always the fucking judgment here. Okay, so this idea of let's just look at whether they're operating inside the law is like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You know, the legal thing, like, where's your moral stand on this? Where do you stand on the morality of, like, people, you know, forced displacement of people, of killing 60,000 in a year-long retaliation for one fucking event? You know what I'm saying? And continuing to attack other countries. You know, it's like, I mean, she's being real squeaky about this. And that was the problem I had with Dan Clancy, right? Was he talked about the policy, but he wouldn't tell me where his moral ground was. And I was like, dude, fuck you, bro. Like, you don't deserve me on your platform because you don't have a moral center, you know?
And I've been clear about that. So I would ask for a little bit of an open mind.
Well, what I would ask is, listen, I'm a YouTuber. You know, I have my words, that's all I have. Yeah. But you're a United States Senator. Like, you're not the president.
The power.
But you have power. So what are you going to do? Because so far what we've seen, I mean, you voted for some of the aid that's been used to massacre children and innocents. You know, you have backed Israel, as far as I can tell, you know, from your voting record at almost every turn. You voted for a definition of anti-Semitism that would, you know, codify anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism. You voted as a member of the House to sanction the ICC for indicting Benjamin Netanyahu, who you just admitted is a war criminal.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, look at her face. Dude, look at her face. Oh my God, look at her, dude. She's eyes closed. Like, dude, I'm gonna blow that up. That face right there. You can just see it, bro. Oh Lord, dude. I'm gonna save this, but I'm definitely blowing that up in the video. But like that face right there. This is the moment when they knew. Slotkin getting reamed is gonna be the title of that one. Oh, that face. Dude, my pause game is just, I'm the best in the game when it comes to the pause button, bro. She's like, oh, it's gonna get ugly in here, bro.
You know, by your own words. So are you going to join Senator Angus King, Senator Bernie Sanders in saying no more aid to this country that is committing war crimes against innocent civilians?
I think the first thing, if you're asking about what to do with power, and I would offer that right now Democrats own nothing in Washington. So
don't play powerless with me. You're a United States Senator. There are things you can do.
Dude, you can vote, right? Even if you can't stop the aid, you vote no. You take a stand on it.
Who runs our foreign policy? I just think it's interesting, right? That there was a ton of protests when Democrats were in charge.
There was a protest in Manhattan yesterday.
Okay. I think it's fair to say, just to be honest, that back and forth, like the number of protests that go on now versus before.
Well, they were part of your political coalition.
Well, not to mention, I mean, Senator Slotkin.
That's fair.
Dude, oh my God, dude, she's doing, hold on, we gotta, we do have to do one thing. We do have to like fucking do the Slotkin AIPAC, because I know somebody put it in there, but let's see. There it is. There is the fucking total we have for Alyssa Slotkin. All right, $656,000. Okay, so over $500,000 from AIPAC. Okay, that's a lot, and not just AIPAC, but all the pro-Israel groups. That's a lot of money. It's not as much as the $10 million she got from the crypto industry, who, by the way, she's voted. You know, she's been real friendly to Donald Trump's crypto policies after taking 10 milli from the crypto industry, which I'm sorry, man, if you're a politician and you're taking millions from super PACs, like, you ain't for the people. You are for the super PAC. And that goes for all of them. But yeah, dude, that's a lot of fucking change right there. All right, here we go.
Obviously, I'm here.
Yeah.
I was very upset over the Biden administration policy. And as you can tell, I'm very upset over the Trump administration policy.
Yeah.
So let's deal not in strawman, but me
Okay,
and
but
here
in
and now.
terms of so the tools that I have, the tools that we have in general, to me, the most important thing is a pressurized campaign to get aid into people who are starving. That to me is the number one, because that's the one is urgent and today. And that,
but will you?
But see, here's the problem: is Israel's not giving the aid. Israel, give the aid. We're not going to give the aid. In fact, we're going to kill people. Israel, you better give the aid. The only tool we have to force Israel to give the aid is to say, you know what? We're not giving you a fucking penny until you give the aid. And we know Donald Trump does this. He's done it to states. He's done it to colleges. He's trying to do it to fucking broadcasting companies. He's trying to do it to other companies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. That's literally the only fucking, like, that's literally the only mechanism they have. You know? Like, come on.
Cut off aid to Israel so long as they're committing crimes against humanity.
There is a difference between a weapon to protect a country from incoming missiles versus other type. Offensive and defensive weapons are different.
So would you support offensive weapons ban? Like, would you stop any offensive aid to Israel?
That certainly, to me, would be a place to look, but I'm not going to cut off a blanket next sale on a defensive weapon that comes through. No.
I also reject that because, for example, if Senator Slotkin, if you were asked to support defensive weapons for Iran, defensive weapons for Russia, you wouldn't back that.
No, but Iran, but
they're defensive. They're just protecting civilians, right? So how is it different?
But because Israel's being shot at.
Well, so is Russia.
So is Iran.
Yeah.
So is Russia.
Ukraine's shooting at Russia right now.
Dude, we literally bombed Iran like how many weeks ago? Dude, she's getting cooked. Oh Lord, dude. Oh Lord, it is, dude, even Sagar, right? He's not on her side, bro. Like, that's so funny. Like, she went on this show thinking she was gonna have a friend, and like they're both cooking her. Oh, dude. Oh shit.
But
they're defensive. They're just protecting civilians, right? So how is it different?
But because Israel's being shot at.
Well, so is Russia.
So is Iran.
Yeah.
So is Russia.
Ukraine's shooting at Russia right now.
I'm sorry. This is the difference between allies, partners, and adversaries.
Why is it an ally then? What are they doing right now that which makes it an ally?
I think allied relationships, just like Lithuania right now, like an allied relationship or a partner relationship is a long-standing relationship of information sharing and diplomacy. And
diplomacy. Yeah, but I'm sorry, Alyssa Slotkin, but killing 62,000 people and converting an entire region in the country to rubble, forcing starvation, killing people who are hungry, and talking about forced displacement of an entire fucking region is not diplomacy. I mean, dude, that's the opposite of diplomacy. Dude, that is like every non-diplomacy tactic out there is fucking, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit,
that is,
bro.
To me, it's not a like every day we decide Lithuania is our ally or not. We're allied or not. And sometimes we have big breaks with allies, right? Sometimes we have difficult moments with allies. Sometimes it goes the wrong way with allies. But an allied relationship is a long-term relationship.
It's hard for me to understand why we should ally. Like, I'm sure you believe in, like, or claim to believe in liberal human rights. Why would we ally with a nation that is committing a genocide and live streaming it?
Can I ask, literally, like this, I think about this from the mirror image way, because I do not support the things that Donald Trump is doing, right? But I'm an American. So do I want other countries to look at America and be like, we can't stand Donald Trump, so we're gonna end any longstanding relationship we have with the American people. We're going to cut off any support we give them on information.
But this isn't we're not talking about our country. This is a different country. Israel is not America. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, look at what we're doing with Europe, right? Europe's been a long-standing ally, but Donald Trump is fucking blackmailing them, trying to fucking take Greenland, threatening them with attack, telling them they're terrible. He goes there and insults them on their own fucking stage, pulls out of all the treaties, okay? So, like, Europe, our long-standing ally, Trump, like, is shitting all over them. You know, like,
information sharing or intelligence sharing. Like, we are not just our elected leaders. And I think that's the thing that's been lost in the conversation.
So 𝗫𝗡 and another Israeli human rights organization joined the global consensus, Amnesty International, some 800 scholars. There was a piece from an Israeli scholar in the New York Times in saying this is a genocide. Do you accept, even Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday came out and said it's a genocide. Do you accept that? And if you do, I mean, what responsibility does a United States senator have for, this is a nation that, you know, we send every year billions of dollars to aid that you have, you know, voted for and supported. Like, what responsibility does a United States senator have to prevent genocide and to stop genocide that we see ongoing?
Absolutely. Like, if our ally is Canada, and Canada starts beheading everybody who's fucking French in Canada, we just ignore the beheadings and are like, well, they're our ally. Well, all the people they're beheading must have done something wrong. I mean, it's just a couple of heads, just a couple of thousand heads. Like, bro, like, I feel like, you know, I feel like our allies almost should be under a closer microscope. If we're attaching ourselves to another country, that country's behavior should be of the utmost importance to us, right? I mean, I don't care what my neighbors do, but I care how my fucking friends behave, okay? If my neighbor says the N-word, yeah, I'm gonna be pissed and fuck my neighbor, but if my friends are saying the N-word, I'm finding a new fucking friend, okay? I mean, that's real simple, bro. The allies get the rules of, like, you gotta be, like, much more fucking on your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
We have a responsibility up till today to ensure that food is getting in.
Is it
so
a
that
genocide?
People don't starve. I don't know that I'd use that term.
Why?
But it is violating the law of war.
Why don't you use the term, though?
Because I think, you know, it's, to me, do I think it's ethnic cleansing, which is what I think of in genocide? I don't know if it meets that definition.
They're announcing
but didn't you say it earlier that it was ethnic cleansing? You said that they wanted to force it. I mean, this is open from the Israeli government.
Oh my God, she's like, dude, she's sitting there going, the red guy, the conservative guy is throwing me right into the fucking fire. Dude, you know she walked out of this thing and probably was like, you went to her aides, like, don't you ever fucking book me on another fucking show like that. I will fuck. Dude, I bet, like, picture frames got broken, dude. Dude, how? I mean, I don't see how you don't call it a fucking genocide. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, dude, it is a specific fucking group of people, man.
Say it earlier that it was ethnic cleansing. He said that they wanted to force it. I mean, this is open from the Israeli government. Like, they're saying it. Their Minister of National Security, they come out and they're like, we don't need shells. We need shells, not food. And we need to encourage migration. They're saying it.
You're not going to get me to support what the Israeli government is saying right now. I think the point I was trying to make is it's not just about, like, we have relationships with nations over time, regardless of who their leaders are. We have really tough moments. We have easier moments. But that doesn't, so I'm not willing to say that, like, I hate everything ever.
Sure,
into
but
the,
so
the future.
even if you accept that they're committing a genocide, you still wouldn't cut off their aid?
I think that defensive aid and offensive aid are different things, and I think at this point,
so
what
if
they're
Nazi
doing
Germany,
every single day,
if Nazi Germany said we want defensive aid, I mean, it's just you have to see where.
I mean, yeah, dude, she's not making sense because she's saying, oh, defensive aid for our allies. But if your allies are committing a genocide or an ethnic cleansing, shouldn't you make them not allies? I mean, right? I mean, I'm not going to be allies with somebody who commits an ethnic cleansing, okay? If I have a good friend and he has a business and he just starts imprisoning all the people of color, I'm not gonna remain friends with him and fucking help him out. Like, come on, man. Dude, she's AIPAC money, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's $656,000 or whatever that she has taken.
Different things, and I think at this point,
so
what
if
they're
Nazi
doing
Germany,
every single day,
if Nazi Germany said we want defensive aid, I mean, it's just you have to see where they're all weapons that are being shipped. You know, in another context,
the weapons that they're using right now. I mean, to be honest, if you look at what's happening on the ground, the military part of this conflict is, for the most part, over. What they are doing,
Senator,
every single day is around aid, and they are hurting people
they have
around the
slaughtered over
delivery of
1,000
aid.
people who were starving people just trying to get aid.
That is
I
not
know you
high,
know this.
That's not high intensity bombs. That's not the weapons that that we were talking about 2 years ago. It's just not. I'm sorry. Every single day, the military reports that I read, they are traditional. Like, this is a military that has a bad strategy. It is not the bombs that we were seeing 2 years ago.
It's not a military that has a bad strategy. The strategy is forced starvation and ethnic cleansing. That's their strategy, and they're accomplishing it very effectively with the full backing of the United States government, including, sadly, Democrats.
Well,
and so a couple more questions that I know you have to run. I'm curious why you condemned Rashida Tlaib for using the rally chant, from the river to the sea, something she said for her evokes equal rights. And you have not condemned Randy Fine, who said that Gazans should, quote, starve away, who floated that the Gaza Strip should be nuked, who called Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and Zoran as well, called them Muslim terrorists. Where is the concern over him?
I have no problem condemning Randy Fine, who I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know who that person is. I have no problem condemning someone who talks like that.
Senator, we have to ask your last question because your staff is telling us. Do you think AIPAC should register as a foreign lobby?
I don't know the answer to that. I think that I know plenty of people who think they should.
Dude, there's the hook is gonna come in, bro. She's getting the hook. Her staff is pulling her out.
I don't.
It's kind of a cop-out answer, don't you think?
I mean,
Yeah.
I literally, I just guess I'd have to look at the definition. I certainly have had my tough moments with that organization, and
so you stop accepting their funding.
You gotta get your facts straight. I have not been endorsed by AIPAC. I have not. I'm sorry. I was the first Jew elected to the Senate that was not endorsed by any Jewish group. AIPAC. J Street.
You've been the recipient of their funds.
In 2018, when I first ran, people who were members, yes. But I've not been endorsed since then. And I just got to be honest, I think that this is where facts really matter. I've had very, very difficult conversations with my colleagues in that organization and made a choice back in 2021. So that was the first time.
Yeah, there's funding. Like, nobody said you were endorsed by AIPAC, but what about the $650
I was
grand?
up for re-election. So I understand that there's a sort of, again, cornered position, but to me, I call balls and strikes as someone who served in the Middle East.
I have one more question I have to ask you. We do the show. I really do my best to try to uphold, basic human rights, Palestinian humanity, oppose the killing of innocent civilians wherever that happens. And I have to tell you, I feel really guilty that I'm not doing enough. I think all the time about, I'm a mom, I think all the time about those moms who can't feed their babies. Those babies are starving to death. And I just want to know, like, you're a United States Senator, you did vote for some of the bombs that were dropped on refugee camps. When kids have been sniped in the head, tents firebombed, people set on fire. The entire Gaza Strip turned into rubble. And now we're seeing these emaciated bodies of babies starving to death every day. And I know
what you can do.
Does it eat you up? Does it eat you up? Do you think, like, what more could I do? Do you regret any of your votes? Do you regret
let me tell
any
you what
sort
I
of
was working on this morning. A group of Jewish rabbis and Muslim community leaders came together with a proposal that we are working on just getting, like, if we can't get other aid in, at least get baby formula and nutritional supplements for children.
Again, like, you're avoiding the question. The question was, like, how do you feel about this? Do you have any feelings about this? Do you, right? And she's like, let me tell you what we're doing. I'm the great bringing everyone together to make a plan that then Israel might go shit on. But how do you feel about it, right? How do you feel about what's going on there? Does this weigh on you? Do you feel driven, right? Because earlier she was like, oh, the things that affect Michiganders really weigh on me. But does it weigh on you that, like, people are starving and we're giving money to the people who are doing the fucking starving? Like, do you wake up and feel like, God damn, bro, I'm a fucking shit. What am I doing? Why am I giving money to this country that's starving these people? Oh, fuck, bro. I just fucking lost my spot. Where were we? All right, hold on.
And that there's a sort of, like,
on fire. The entire Gaza Strip turned into rubble. And now we're seeing these emaciated bodies of babies starving to death every day. And I
know what you can do.
Does it eat you up? Does it eat you up? Do you think, like, what more could I do? Do you regret any of your votes? Do you regret
let me tell
any
you what
sort
I
of
was working on this
complicity?
morning. A group of Jewish rabbis and Muslim community leaders came together with a proposal that we are working on just getting, like, if we can't get other aid in, at least get baby formula and nutritional supplements for children in. Let that be kind of a green light.
Yeah, and then what? You're just going to put them on a pallet, and so the Israeli soldiers are going to shoot all the babies? The babies are going to roll up because their starving parents are dead, and like...
Never has a problem. No one's trying to eat baby formula other than a baby, right? That is the proposal that I've been working on all night and this morning. In terms of what we're trying to do, there's not a moment that goes by that this isn't something that I'm working on.
Oh my God, she's doing that. There's not a moment that goes by. Dude, see, I hate it when they say that. There's not a moment that goes by that I'm not working on this. It's like, really? You just voted for weapons. You didn't even vote, like, to send a signal to Israel that they should listen to you. But not a moment goes by that you, have been working on this. Like, earlier in the interview, you said you're concerned about all the Michigander shit, the economy. Dude, fuck, bro.
And something that my own community, not online, but my own community has practical things that they want to do.
Not online. Not like you, Krystal and Sagar, right? Not like you YouTubers. She's like, mine's a real practical, real life.
They're willing to raise the money. They're willing to buy the formula. They're willing to do whatever we need to do to get it shipped in. That's how I spend my time.
Yeah, but what happens when the Israeli soldiers shoot the people who come to get the formula in the head? Because that's the real problem, right? The problem isn't getting the formula there. The problem is them lining them up in cages to get the formula and then massacring them, okay? And short of you going there and standing in front of the bullets, I mean, what are you going to do to fucking prevent the massacre? You could stop giving them bullets, and then what are they going to fucking, like, chase them with sticks? They're going to have a better chance getting the formula, you know? I mean, I know that sounds rudimentary, and I'm injecting comedy into it because it's too horrific to fucking, like, contemplate. But the problem here is that Alyssa Slotkin has the power to make a statement that has an impact, and she won't. You know what I mean?
But you're
That
not
is how
willing
my
to cut off aid to Israel.
To me, that to me is the most effective thing that I can do today.
This is a subtle question. Your staff is telling us you absolutely have to go. So we appreciate your time. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Senator.
Thank you
Thank
very much. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Dude, yeah, her staff is, dude, somebody's getting fired, bro. Oh, shit. That was so fucking entertaining. Dude, kudos to Krystal for Good night, babe. Love you. Will you do me a favor? Will you grab like a couple of candy bars and just throw them outside your door for me? Thank you. No, because it's too hot in here. You just put them like on the kitchen counter or something, right? Put them in the refrigerator for me. Love you. Thank you, baby. Oh, shit. She's so amazing. Dude, yeah. She like, you know, she really spoke up, you know, and I like that. I like that she like was willing to, you know, because the thing about it is she wasn't just trying to be contrarian. Okay. She was not. She wasn't there where I'm just going to get Alyssa Slotkin riled up. I'm just going to attack Alyssa Slotkin. This is something that's very important to Krystal. I've seen her tweet about it. I know that this occupies a huge portion of her like emotional humanitarian fucking space. And so she was rightfully calling out on a person with power, with enough power to have an impact on something that's really important to her. And she was like, you know, calling it out and fighting for it, fighting, you know, at least getting Alyssa Slotkin to take a stand or to show us that she wouldn't take a stand. You know what I mean? And Matt, you know, it's like, I hear you on that. What's hard about this, Matt, and I don't want to minimize it because it's horrific, but what's hard is like, as Americans, like, dude, we have nothing but blood on our fucking hands, bro. You know what I'm saying? As Americans, like, my God, bro, like, you know, I have a house that's paid off, guys. And guess where the people whose land we took are? They're on a reservation, like crammed onto a reservation, like 60 miles from here, all of them. And their land is something that I own that is, you know, tripled in value in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And like, so like, it's like we're, you know, what's crazy is I don't even know if we're ever going to get to a point that where we don't have blood on our hands. You know, I'm starting to lose hope. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up, bro. Because, I mean, we can't even acknowledge racism, like, you know, in our fucking country founded on it. We're still fighting about if systemic racism exists. So, like, most of America is like, they're not going to see genocide. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, dude. You know, we're, you know, it's like, we're just so cooked, right? It's hard. It's hard. Because I honestly, like, I feel like at this point, it's like short of you, right? It's like short of you, of us running for it. You know what I mean? Like, we have to run ourselves. I think expecting the type of people that go into politics to all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? To all of a sudden, like, not be corporate whores is like unrealistic, right? The only way we're going to get the corporate whores out of office is by non-whores running and winning. You know what I mean? Dude, we don't need no stinking badges. Dude, you're quoting Backdraft now. Let's go. Dude, that's funny. No, I think we need to run, Matt. I'm encouraging you to run, boss. That's my encouragement. I encourage everybody to run. You ready? Here's what I encourage. Everybody in America who hates their job should run for office. Okay? If you love your job, you can fucking think about it, right? But if you hate your job and I fucking hate my job, you should run for Congress, right? You know what I'm saying? Dude, well, we know Slotkin, right? We know that Slotkin is not going to she's not going to defund Israel, all right? We know. She's not. She's not going to defund Israel, and she's going to take more AIPAC money, probably. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I'm going to go get those candy bars. They're not lasting long. Babe. Let's go. You're bagging lettuce mix right now? Are you listening to people bashing Democrats so we lose the next election? Nah, I don't know that we're going to lose the next election. I think right now is the time to bash, right? That's my philosophy. I feel like you bash during the off season and then you don't bash during the elections. You know what I mean? I mean, here's the thing though, guys. And this is the problem, right? And we Democrats are going to have to think long and hard because there are people who are focused on the genocide and the killing in the Middle East. And then there are people that are focused on basic human fucking rights for like transgender people and everybody here in America. And if we as the Democratic Party don't develop some baselines around like some of that activity of like how we value human life and human rights, we're not going to win any more fucking elections, right? We can't pretend that like we can look the other way on human rights and healthcare and just focus on the economy, which is all bullshit because all these fuckers don't do anything for the economy. What is Alyssa Slotkin going to do for the economy, right? She ain't going to increase minimum wage to something livable. She's not going to outlaw hedge funds. She's not going to give us Medicare for all. She's not going to give us access to free education. The fuck is she going to do? She's not going to get rid of the fucking, she's not going to tax the rich. She's not going to fuck up the system enough that it upsets her apple cart. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, we need to stop sitting in the middle of this economic system that favors only white wealthy people. We have to take a stand. You know? I mean, this shit ain't going away, you know? Kids would not be starving in Gaza if Democrats were in power right now. See, I don't know about that, Catherine. Because the Democrats were in power while people were getting forced out of like Gaza and they were being put in camps, and fucking Joe Biden was not like you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I mean nobody was getting fed or taken care of when Biden was president. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's not to say that if Kamala had won, she wouldn't have done something, but Joe Biden wasn't doing anything. And there are a lot of Democrats that will fund the shit out of Israel because AIPAC gives them a lot of money, right? You know? Dude. So, I mean, it's true. It's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I've evolved a lot on this issue. I just know this. You ready? Here's what I know. What I know is that this issue is not going away. Okay? This issue is not going away. And if the Democrats want a coalition, they're going to have to take a stand on this issue. And if they don't take a stand on this issue, there's never going to be a Democratic coalition. That's it. That's it. That's the fact. You may not like it, whether you think it's right or wrong. That's the reality. Like, the same as the reality is like, wow, we live in a world with systemic racism. The reality is this issue is not going away. And if Democrats don't find an amenable, like, middle point where they can all get on board, they are never going to have a fucking coalition. Okay? And I feel like trans rights is going to be another spot too. That if you don't have transgender rights and women's rights, and you don't address the fucking human rights violations in the Middle East, if those things don't get a solidified, unified thing, there will never be a fucking coalition. You know? So that's what's hard, is like, as a father of a young person, I realize this shit ain't going away. And for me, like, the trans rights issue ain't going away, man. You know what I'm saying? I am not going to fucking live in a world where transgender people have to fucking live in hiding and can get fired at will and can get criminalized for existing in Texas. I'm not going to live in that world. Right? And if you're not going to take a stand against that, like, dude, don't expect me to fucking butter your bread. I'm going to be in your fucking face. If you're my leader and you're fucking doing that shit, I'm going to be in my face. I mean, I'm thinking about running for Senate against Ron Wyden because he said he's running again in his 80s and he voted to continue to arm Israel. And I'm like, that would be interesting. I could run opposite that. I could run on Medicare for all, and I could run on being younger and being tired of having a fucking, an 80-year-old senator who talks but is not really fucking doing the goods. And I wouldn't even have to move to Wisconsin. It'd be hard though, because I'd have to give this up. I would have to give up streaming completely. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, probably. I don't think I could campaign and stream, and I'd have to demonetize everything. So it would be like, so I'd have to give this up. I'd have to say goodbye to all this. You guys would have to say goodbye to me, right? For the most part, I might stream occasionally, but it would be a significant life change, right? I'd have to go door to door because I don't have any money. I'd have to go door to door and really do the thing, You know what I mean? But I don't know, dude. When I saw that he voted that way, it hit me. Like, I was like, because I've been thinking about going to Wisconsin and running for this congressional seat, but I'd have to move to Wisconsin, and I can't really afford to move right now. Like, I don't have access, but running for Senate in Oregon is something I could do. You know what I mean? It is something I could do. And I think I could get a fair amount of notoriety in doing that. I'm thinking about it because he's running again. He's going to be like 83, dude. And he's going to run again. He'd be 90 when he's done. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, no way, bro. 80-year-old. Can you imagine me in the Senate? Dude, they thought John Fetterman was bad. Oh, shit, bro. Dude. Fucking A, bro. I'd be a good senator, dude. I would fuck those guys up. I would. All right. So what do we got? Dude, what do we got here? Oh, Jesus. Dude, I'm also on the list. Dude, she is so stern looking. Right? Dude. So I saw something here that I want to look at, okay? That is, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Midas did it. First bill, Sarah McBride got passed. Equal opportunity for all investors, forcing the SEC to let anyone to take a test to become an accredited investor. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. Is that good? It sounds like it's fucking opening it up, right? Is that a good thing? She actually got a bill passed? But here, or that's a bill that did she propose it or did it actually get passed? So I want to look at something here. Oh, it's so more people can become hedge fund people? Jesus, dude. That is not what we need, man. Yeah, it doesn't seem very important. And what we need hedge funds to be illegal. All right? But, all right, hold on. We need to watch a little bit of this Trump shit real quick. And Natalie, I do want to watch that video that you had, but I don't have time for that tonight because I do want to cover a little bit of the Trump stuff. And then we're going to I have to go and make some videos. But what I want to cover, okay, is this thing that they posted about Michael Wolff. Okay, he wrote a book about Epstein, all right, and he's been a fairly controversial voice about this, but I really, hold on, let me see if I can find it. I think I liked it. I hope I liked it or bookmarked it. All right, so goddamn, I gotta find this tweet. I could have swore it was Midas. Oh, here is this one. Oh, it's from Asen. Okay. Let's look at this clip here because this shit is crazy important. Okay. This is about, right? This is about the reason why the Trump-Epstein relationship fell apart. Because Trump is talking about poaching workers. But there's some stuff that has come to light here where Epstein was buying this massive piece of real estate, okay? And he takes Trump to see it to sort of advise him on how to like fucking fix it up. Thank you, Matt. Let's go, baby. Right? He's like asking for Trump's help, essentially. He's like, yo, you're my good friend. I'm fucking high bidder on this huge piece of real estate. Let me take you there and you can give me some advice, what you did with Mar-a-Lago, et cetera, et cetera. Trump goes there with him. Then Trump backdoors him and buys it with a higher bid. But Epstein was like, Trump doesn't have that money. Trump does not have access to $40 million. How did he buy this? And then a couple years later, he finds out that Trump's getting the money from some Russians. And then 2 years later, Trump sells it at an exorbitant profit to other Russians, right? And so it's like, holy fucking shit, dude. There's like some money laundering going on. And that was what started the rift. And this is where I believe that Trump turned Epstein in. I think he fucking turned him in, right? I think he turned him in order to like exercise power over him, to like protect himself and let him know that, hey man, you need to be careful because I actually like can influence government officials, right? Like I got you off with 𝗪𝗪𝗪, but if you fuck around, right, I'm gonna fucking take you down. You know what I'm saying? And this is fucking, I don't know, it feels really relevant because all the research I've been doing on this points to Trump selling out Epstein in order to protect his own interests, sort of forcing a silence from him with like, oh yeah, you don't really, right? If you tell on me, like I'm gonna fucking end you, you know what I'm saying? And I have the power to end you. I can influence what the government does. And Jeff Epstein didn't have that kind of fucking power and connection, okay? Because Trump has been connected to like the sort of mafia, sort of government owning power for a long time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? A long time. But yeah, let's watch this.
Now, Epstein's explanation for why this friendship ended is as follows. In 2004, Epstein believed himself to be the high bidder on a piece of real estate in Palm Beach, a house. $36 million was his bid.
It's insane, dude.
He took his friend Trump around to see the house to advise him on how to move the swimming pool. Trump thereupon went around Epstein's back and bid $40 million for the house and got the property. Epstein, who was well acquainted, in fact, deeply involved with Trump's scattered finances, understood that he didn't have $40 million to pay for this house.
Exactly.
Now, if that was the case, it was someone else's $40 million. At the time, Epstein believed this to be the $40 million of a Russian oligarch by the name of 𝗪𝗪𝗪. Less than 2 years later, this same house that Trump had bought for $40 million was sold for $95 million.
95.
And it was, in fact, sold to Mr. 𝗪𝗪𝗪.
Oh my God. So do you see that? So Epstein believes he fucking got the money from 𝗪𝗪𝗪 to buy the house, and then Trump sells it to 𝗪𝗪𝗪, right, for over double the value. Now, at this time, too, nobody was spending $95 million on a house. That was like so far above market value. This was a crazy transaction.
This is all a red flag of money laundering.
Money laundering, big time.
And what Epstein did, and he was furious about losing this house. I mean, there's something about these guys that nothing rouses them so much as a real estate betrayal. Epstein, after the sale of this house, after Trump went around his back, got this house, Epstein began to threaten him. He began to threaten him with lawsuits. He began to threaten him with going to the press and saying that Trump was a front man for a money laundering deal. Trump panics at this point, and Epstein believed, and he believed to his dying day, that it was Trump who went to the police, Trump who was fully acquainted with what was going on at Epstein's house.
Absolutely. Involved with it.
Trump went to the police and, as Epstein said, dropped the dime on him. That is to say, informed the police of what was going on, and an investigation began, and all of Epstein's legal problems for the next 15 years began to unfold. This story about this piece of real estate and their falling out was first published in June 2019. It was published actually in my book, Siege, the second book I had written about the Trump White House. Epstein had recounted this story to me. I put it in this book. Epstein at that moment was in Paris. He read the book. He called me with some alarm, and he said he was afraid that he might have said too much. 3 weeks later, he returned to the United States from Paris and was
He got arrested.
Promptly arrested.
Teterboro
On
Airport.
the tarmac of Teterboro Airport in New Jersey when his plane landed.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is a crazy story, right? That's a crazy story, that the money laundering going on, that was all the way back before the fucking separation. And now Trump is still like, dude, he is literally, he's literally still running around being like, oh yeah, he stole workers from my fucking house, right? Like, look at this. Oh shit. Where is it? Dude, what the fuck was that move, bro?
Can I ask you about lighting, Mr. President? Can I ask you about lighting?
Dude, what was that? Dude, did you see that shit? With that fucking drop shoulder? Like homies having a fucking...
Can I ask you about lighting, Mr. President? Can I ask you about lighting, Mr. President? Can I ask you about lighting?
Dude.
Can I ask you about lighting, Mr. President? Can I ask you about
Dude, that was like, something's going on there, dude. Dude, that was crazy, bro. All right, but here's what does he say?
Family of Virginia Giuffre released a statement overnight in response to some of the comments that you made this week. You said that Jeffrey Epstein stole people from Mar-a-Lago. At the time, did you know why he was taking those young women, including Virginia?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news that would ask that question, one of the worst. But no, I don't know really why.
Dude.
But I said if he's taking anybody from Mar-a-Lago, he's hiring or whatever he's doing. I didn't like it. And
dude, ABC fake news. Dude, he's falling apart, bro. It's like, I'm sorry, dude. This doesn't work on anybody anymore. They're fucknuts.
We threw him out. We said we don't want him, at the place. This is a story that's been known for many years, as you know. But it's... I didn't like it that he was doing that. Yeah, please.
Oh, shit, dude. Dude, he's fucking getting jacked up, bro, by this shit. me see. There's another clip of him, bro. There's a couple of clips of him that I want to fucking capture from today about this. Because he is fucking... We got to look at the 𝗙់family's comments, too. He is fucking, like, falling apart. All right? He is, in a major fucking way, dude. Now, first off, you may have seen this, dude. He has Lawrence Taylor, like, who's a rapist. Okay, thank you, Lawrence Taylor. Another rapist he invites to the White House. He doesn't even know why he's there, dude. Trump's just like, oh, let's bring a rapist to the White House.
No, don't start. I'm just proud to be on this team. I don't know why. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but I'm here to serve, and I'm here to serve you. Okay, so I'm gonna do the best I can for as long as I can. Thank you very much.
Dude, yeah, he's like, I don't even know what I'm doing here, right? I know I'm a rapist. You're a rapist. You're like probably going down for rape, so you invite me, another rapist. I have no idea why I'm here, but thanks for inviting me. What, are they gonna go rape together or what, dude? What the fuck, bro? Dude, oh my God, isn't that wild? That shit is nuts. But let's find the other one. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. Oh, we already saw that one. Maybe this is a different one.
Virginia 𝗙់released a statement overnight in response to some of the comments that you made this week.
This is the same clip.
Jeffrey Epstein stole people from Mar-a-Lago. At the time, did you know why he was taking those young women, including Virginia?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news that would.
Yeah, no, that is the same clip. All right, dude, what does he think that? The fact that he thinks that answer is gonna cut it. I mean, he's pretty delusional at this point. You know what I'm saying? He is pretty delusional at this point, right?
Probably acknowledged to be the greatest defensive player in the history of the NFL. A friend of mine for a long time. Too long, right, Lawrence?
Look at this guy.
Lawrence Taylor, he's an incredible guy. And just been my friend a long time, haven't we? Knew him forever.
Yeah, dude, he's like, we've been raping since back in the Epstein days. Dude, look at these guys, though. Look at the fucking cross-section of men here. You know, I mean, I guess they're pro athletes, but like, bro, this is like, it's definitely the White House. Jesus, right? The White House. The white as white can be house. All right, let's look at Virginia 𝗙់family. All right, there's a couple clips from them on this interview that we should check out. All right, you ready? And I like what they say here too, that like, dude, she wasn't stolen, right? She's not property. She was a teenager working at Mar-a-Lago, okay? She was working at Mar-a-Lago, a place where her father worked. Her father was a maintenance man there. She wasn't stolen by Jeffrey Epstein. She was a young girl working at a fucking resort, and one of the owner of the resort's good friends came in and like lured her, coerced her into fucking sex work. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, dude. You know?
She wasn't stolen. She was preyed upon at his property, at President Trump's property. And I think it's very important that we don't treat it like stolen. Seems very impersonal. It feels very much like an object. And these survivors are not objects. Women are not objects. What goes through my mind is that it's time to protect survivors, and it's time to protect the young women and our future generation of young women. So no, she wasn't stolen. She was preyed upon. And it certainly makes you kind of ask the question, you know, how much he knew during that time, right? Even a couple of years later, even after he, you know, I believe he had stated something along the lines of cutting off communication or kicking him out. You know, he described Jeffrey Epstein as somebody who really enjoyed being around young women. And so she was preyed upon. She wasn't stolen. That's a predator that came and took her and did absolutely horrible things to her and so many other women out there.
Yeah, dude, see, that's what's crazy, right? Is like, you know what I'm saying? What's crazy about it is that the idea of, you know, she has this job at Mar-a-Lago. Jeffrey Epstein, the guy who likes all the young girls and has this young girl fetish, Jeffrey Epstein, whose house he goes to that has literal pictures of like beaver shots, like young girls, drawings and paintings of teenage girls with their legs spread and shit all over his house. I mean, the guy's predilection and obsession with like teen sexuality, Jeffrey Epstein's, was like so obvious. Anybody who went into his inner sanctum was well aware of this guy's habits. Okay. And Trump knows, you know, it was Maria Farmer who said Trump came in and Epstein's like, no, she's not here for you. Come with me. And he takes Trump into a back room. But this idea that, yeah, he finds out that the guy who preys on young girls stole one of his workers, but then he's just like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Well, what about the girl? Are you concerned with what he did with the girl? Did you follow up to what he did with her after he fucking pulled her out of your business? You know what I mean? Or, you know, I mean, we know that Trump didn't fucking care. He's lying through his teeth. He's making shit up, bro. He didn't care about any of that. He, in fact, you know, if you look at it, if you really look at it, guys, Trump models was bringing young girls from Eastern Europe to America. I think Trump was engaged in the same business. Okay, his Trump models was a front for bringing illegal Eastern European women to New York City and then them being under Trump's total control. He was like putting them up in apartments where he was overcharging them. They weren't making any money. We'll see you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe his modeling fucking company was a front for this shit too. Just like, you know, John Casablancas's elite models and Brunel, right? Jean-Luc Brunel, Karen models, like they were all in it, you know? You know what I'm saying? All involved with it, right?
I think one for me is, when are we going to start believing survivors? I think that's a very powerful one, and it's certainly something every survivor feels. We've had the opportunity to speak with so many powerful survivors out there.
See, this guy, Virginia Giuffre's brother, makes a good point, because look at what they're talking about now. The Republicans are trying to entertain the criminal, okay, the predator, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is a monster. She's been described as a monster. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. She sexually abused these girls. She fucking groomed these girls. She trafficked these girls with Epstein. It looks like she was even the ringleader. She certainly was the one with their hands on the levers of power. But they want to talk to her. They want to put her in front of Congress and be like, yeah, you tell us about this crime. But like, why would they even do that? Okay, why would they even do that? She's been Trump's friend since the 80s. Shouldn't they be talking to the victims? Pam Bondi said there's over 1,000 victims. Let's put the 1,000 victims. Let's find any of them that want to come before Congress and drop a dime on some people and out the people who fucking abuse them. Like, why aren't the witnesses that are in the fucking files, why aren't they coming out and we're using their information? We know who's in those files. The FBI knows. They have the information. They have countless girls that have come forward and told their stories. You know what I'm saying? But no, they want to put the predator, the criminal predator, and be like, yeah, let's get her take on it. Like, oh, yeah, that sounds good.
And
please.
I think it's important their voices get to be heard. I think another question that I have, and it pertains to, we already talked through why Ghislaine Maxwell should not even be considered remotely.
Yes, not
by the
remotely.
Department of Justice to be released or get some sort of pardon. But
or testimony, non-valid testimony. And for the guy who said that many of them are afraid, for sure. And if somebody's too afraid, they don't have to appear, but they can also appear with masked voice and behind screens or in separate rooms on video cameras like they did at Ghislaine's trial. There were several witnesses that gave testimony that did it in a private identity masking way.
I think the other thing that we need to speak about is why aren't the documents being released?
Yeah, good question.
And so we want that answer, that question answered.
Dude, let's ask Elon. Elon knows why they're not being released because Donald Trump is all over them.
No, why aren't the documents being released? They deserve justice. These survivors had something taken away from them they can never get back. And it's time for these monsters to be exposed and get something they can never get back, which is their freedom.
See, you know what's interesting too is we've heard people, all right, elected representatives. You know what I'm saying? We've heard people, elected representatives, talk about, well, you know, there's we don't like releasing the files. Some innocent people could be ruined because they could be assumed that they were part of something they weren't a part of. And it's really interesting how they're concerned about making sure that none of the potential perps get wounded by being a perp accidentally. But they're not concerned about the 1,000 girls who've already been traumatized and victimized. But it's like, man, what's really most important here is that we don't accidentally have a false perp. Because that could be a real problem. But it's like, dude, it should be okay if some false perps. Like if a couple guys get ruined and they have to figure their shit out and defend themselves and sort it out. I mean, it would suck and it would be unfortunate for them. But, you know, they were doing business with a fucking pederast. So sometimes you just hit the shitty lottery. It certainly isn't going to be as ruinous as them being raped repeatedly by fucking powerful men when they're 16, right? A grown man in business, even if he loses his business, loses his money, the guy's going to get over it. Louis C.K., Donald fucking Trump, Matt fucking Lauer, Bill O'Reilly. I mean, I could go on for days, dude. The quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, fucking Ben Roethlisberger, like the number of rapists who fucking rape and are fine afterwards. Come on, man. The rapists get their careers back. You're telling me the false accusation guys aren't going to? Fuck off, right? Like, I mean, nobody wants anybody falsely accused. But if you were doing business with Jeffrey Epstein, like, man, you're going to suffer some suspicion. Not our problem, right? That is not as traumatizing as being raped multiple times when you're fucking 15. Like, please, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this lack of common sense, you know what I'm saying, is fucking redonkulous. It is redonkulous, dude. All right. On that note, though, unless I see another good Epstein clip in here, I'm going to go make some videos. All right. I'm going to go make some videos. That's it. No more clips, baby. Yeah. I mean, dude, it's just the poor men, you know? And again, dude, I had some people, when I made some comments about false accusations, some people got in my reply saying false accusations are serious. someone should go to jail. And I want to say this about false accusations, because I am 55 years old, guys. In 2 months, 2.5 months, I'm going to be 56. Okay, so I've been on the planet a while. I got to live through the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, now into the 2020s. And let me just tell you about false accusations, okay? You ready, guys? In my 56 years of being on this planet, I have not known one guy where either I knew him in real life or he was a close friend or family member of someone I've known. I have not known one guy who has had a false accusation that has ruined his career or affected his career in any way. Not one person in my immediate friend group or anybody in the friends and family of my friend group. So 2 degrees separation from me. Not one guy in 56 years has even had a false accusation, and nobody has been ruined by one. Now, on the flip side, almost every woman I have ever met in my entire 56 years, probably 95% of them have been raped or sexually abused. That's the fucking statistic right there, guys. Okay? The false accusation that everybody worries about is not statistically significant at all. Okay? And nobody I know has known somebody who actually had a false accusation or had a false accusation that cost them their fucking career. Nobody. Okay? But every woman I know practically has been raped or sexually abused. And every single person I have ever known in my entire life has a woman in their orbit somewhere that has been raped. I don't know a single fucking person. I have never met a person in the 56 years on this planet who has not been friends with or known a family member who has been raped or sexually assaulted. Like, it's insane, okay? So the fact is only one of those things is really happening in a way that is statistically significant. It is sad, Darkstorm. It's like literally one of the biggest crimes and tragedies of our country. And when you think about it, it's why, who did the rapist win? Okay, the rapist, Donald Trump, didn't win an election when he went against a man. But every time he went against women, the rapist won. There's no bigger metaphor than for like our entire rape culture here in America. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And a woman who's made several false accusations. See, that's crazy, Lila. That's wild. I'm glad that Alyssa knows somebody out there exists. But again, though, guys, even the thing is even though false accusations are sure, when they do happen, they're toxic and they're harmful. But like, dude, they're materially, men can get over a rape charge. They get past it. Even if it causes damage, they always get past it. They do, man. They just fucking do, bro. It's like our society supports them getting past it. But the women, man, they're all in danger. All right. On that note, though, it's time for edit mode, baby. I'm gonna go make some fucking miracles happen, boss. Ready? You ready for some music? Some music? What do we got? Oh, yeah. 2-8, Natalie, I missed it.
is the fact that I can walk away again and again and feel nothing.
Dude, I love the end of that song. All right, dude, I'll fucking see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Keep it real. Keep that head straight. We got a lot of fighting left. Nah, it's all right. You can be angry, boss. All the emotions. If you're not angry, bro, like, you're not paying attention, all right? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then if you dare. Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. After you, I'm afraid of feeling some too soon. Cling to what you're given. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Good night.